Coalface, just keep going there. The more times you go to the well, you get more drinks. He is a classic example of it. He's not the most pure by foot, but he's a worker. He's a good-sized body in the midfield. He just has a nose for smelling where the thing's going.
All right, we're going to have a look at our LGB keys to the match, Jono, and you want to have a look at the Tigers' work in the midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Taranto and Hopper and Nankervis. Contested possessions are good. They're at the right level across the entire group, especially what they do week in, week out versus the opposition. They're not getting smashed in this stat. It's the uncontested work. If it gets to the outside, that's where the more experienced team, the more experienced body, they can cover the ground a little bit better than what this younger Tigers team can do warming up behind us at the moment. So that's their challenge, and I think that's the evolution of this side. Is contest will be fine, built that well over this 12 months. The next 12 months focus on how you can then develop yourself as a player to work better on the outside and use the body, use the ball to retain possession.
It's definitely what happened against the Western Bulldogs. They just didn't have the ball in their hands for long enough.
Well, that's right, and then they were cut up by an experienced midfield in the end because they had time and space to use the ball. So we understand the contest, the pressure is all critical to this team, but it's then what they can do to restrict the Adelaide Crows today on the outside of the contest.
And you have to build that, Bradley, because we've seen Carlton, who made a preliminary about 40 games ago, yet they don't have a great outside game or hold on to and retain the ball all that much. And they're sort of in no man's land at the moment. So as you build the team, you've got to get this right. You've got to have your ball winners, yeah, we know that, as you've called it, but you have to have the outside, the periphery, exactly the way you want it as well. The kid he just snuck in behind us, Banks off the back flank. He's one of those guys, they look to try and get the ball to young Banks because he's such a lovely user of the footy. So they know what they're after. We're seeing them on the journey. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be an interesting watch on the way.
First bounce is coming up here at the MCG on the other side of this break. The Sunday ticket on Fox. The Adelaide Crows trying to score a rare win at the MCG in the run to September. Matt Hill and Corbin Middlemass to call all the action right here on Fox Footy.
All right. Hey, welcome everyone. Sunday football here. We've got action here coming your way. Richmond Tigers taking on the Adelaide Crows. This should be a fantastic day. Hey, this is a day everyone will be cheering. Everyone will be cheering for the Richmond Tigers. Even Ryan, the big Tiger supporter out there. How you doing, Ryan? What's happening, brother? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Should be a fantastic game. Let's hope the Tigers get off to a big start and can do what they need to do to get up over the Crows today. Shelty game board. What's happening? What's going on? Are you doing the game today? As well. I'm not sure. I haven't had a little bit of a peek yet. Hey, let's have a look at some of the ins and outs for these teams. For Richmond, Jacob Blight comes in and LeFou comes in for the Tigers going out. Caleb Smith, not today, Siggy, and Thomas Sims out for the Tigers, of course, for the Adelaide Crows. They've only got the one change, and that's James Peatling coming in, Luke Pedler going out, and of course there is the lineup for your teams. If you want to have a little bit of a look at them, just pause it, and you'll be able to see the lineup of your teams. There we go. Noah Bolter's back in the side. Let's just have a look at the ladder, where they sit on the ladder. Of course, we still have one more game coming up after this, which could change the ladder a little bit as we speak. Of course, the Richmond Tigers sitting down there in 17th position after played 14. They won 3, lost 11. Pretty much where where everyone expected it to be. I think they've done a little bit better this season. They're doing all right. They've been playing some reasonably good football for a young up-and-coming side. Look out for them in the next season or two. And, of course, the Adelaide Crows, who they're playing. Of course, this has been at the MCG. 14 games they've played. 9 wins, 5 losses, sitting on 36 points with a very healthy percentage of 135.2. If Adelaide Crows happen to win the game today, that's right, folks, they'll jump up into 3rd spot. They will climb above Hawthorn and Geelong. They'll be in 3rd spot with that fantastic percentage. Of course, the game left to play to round out round 16 is Fremantle and St Kilda. So you got Fremantle here, who could also climb the ladder if they win at home. St Kilda down there in 15, so nothing much is going to change for the Saints. But there are your teams. We're only 3 minutes away from the bounce of the ball here at the MCG. Should be a ring-a-ding-ding game here. Look, I think Richmond will come out and give it a bit of a good hard crack at this game, but I think Adelaide probably will be too strong in the end for the up-and-coming Tigers. Talisha, how you going? Do you stream the game? Yeah, I stream the game, the commentary, the audio. Unfortunately, we can't live stream the actual vision due to copyright of YouTube, etc. like that. That's why you don't see anyone streaming the actual vision of games, because YouTube will shut the stream down. So at least we've got the live scoreboard up. We've got the chat with everyone in the chat there if you want to talk about football. And of course, we've got live commentary happening down there from the MCG with some fantastic commentators. We'll commentate the game for you. I'll just pop on in at quarter time, half time, three-quarter time after the game, and of course before the game to say g'day and see what's happening on the game. So it should be a fantastic game. B3, what's going on? G'day. What's happening up there? Beautiful, sunny, warm day here in Melbourne. Well, yeah, it is overcast, but still nice. Sun's out a little bit, 12 degrees. It's like a heat wave down here at the moment. Should be beach weather, this 12 degrees, but yeah, we're stuck with it. Walker, Lynch, 3 each. I tell you what, yeah, I don't know. Lynch is finding it tough lately. There we go. But I definitely think Walker could have a few. And same here in Tassie. Yeah, it'd be pretty chilly down there in Tassie. Walker should probably have maybe Thilthorpe should probably kick a bag for today. We'll just see how the defenders, the Tiger defenders handled themselves in this game today. But should be pretty good. Hey, if everyone didn't know who won the games in this round so far, round 16, we had Port Adelaide defeating Carlton by 50 points. We had the Western Bulldogs defeating the Sydney Swans by 9 points. Gold Coast, too good for Melbourne, by 19 points. Hawthorn gave North Melbourne a shellacking by 85 points. And, of course, the super team of all, Collingwood, well, I'll tell you what, they were a little bit sluggish last night, but they did get up over the line over West Coast by 29 points. Of course, 2 more games to round out round 16. Of course, this game coming up, Richmond taking on Adelaide. Hopefully we're in for a good game. I think the one good thing about it. Just drop by, Lang, sir. Boss Moy. Hey, thanks, Lang. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. I see you cooking the leech on there. Enjoy. A little bit of lammy, the leech on. If that's where you are, good stuff. Enjoy it. Go for a swim. All right, hey, that's enough of me. We'll see you at quarter time. Let's get down to the action, because they're not too far. They're only half a minute away from the bounce of the ball at the opening term here. Don't forget, put your vote in who you think's going to win. So far, it's 50-50. 50% Richmond, 50% Adelaide. That means we've got half and half of the supporters in here. Look, we're hoping for Ryan out there. The Tigers get up in the biggest upset of probably the season so far, but we've seen the Tigers do that before. All right, let's head down to the action, folks, for the, I think it's running late. It could be. They're milling, they're taking their positions, and the umpire has the ball. He's just waiting. We'll get the bounce underway. Let's head on down there. My app still says 4 minutes. Are your apps a little bit slow? Take it from here.
Helly, I think it's going to be fantastic. And the Tigers need to be on from this first bounce with their pressure and try and restrict what the Adelaide Crows do with ball in hand to the outside, that run and drive they'll try and create to get it to the big three up front and even get Rochelle and Rankin involved, who have found themselves inside. 4:50 to start for the Adelaide Crows.
Sunday ticket at the MCG. Corbin Middlemass to get us underway.
The Crows trying to win back their spot in the top 4. And Richmond looking for win number 4 under second-year coach Adam Uze, as O'Brien with the first hit out. Presti's kick smothered. Crows win it back. Keys to Dawson to Rankin. Sequence of handballs finds young Curtin, who tumbles a kick inside the forward 50. Philthorpe competes, spills to Tex, eyes are vacant, goal square, needs a kind roll, doesn't get it. It's the first score of the game, and behind for Adelaide. Of course, they kicked plenty of those down in the upper aisle last time out.
A little bit of experience there from Taylor Walker. He just allowed Jacob Blight to go back with the flight, and he stayed down and crumbed.
Tex with 661 goals next to his name. What a player he's been as it's fisted out on true centre wing. Cold conditions, but still conditions prevailing here at the G as the crowd builds.
Gee, they are tall in the forward line. Curtin's playing down there as a fourth tall, and he's a big young fella as well.
O'Brien won it down. Taranto scrapping for it and a stoppage.
Gee, that is extraordinary. We've gone through the era. Well, Richmond won that 2017 premiership with just Jack Revolt as a tall forward. There are 4 blokes over 6'4" for Adelaide.
Flicked out by Saligo, grabbed by Trainer, but he overrun it. Saligo with another possession. Handball tight roping the boundary line, bobbles around and out of play.
They all play a significant role, though, Derm. I think Philthorpe can move quite well, push up higher, and have that release with Fogarty. Walker's the more stay at home where he's at stage of career, and Curtin sort of can get involved in aerial contests, but also go and support the midfield when needed.
O'Brien the hit out, Dawson the clearance, up and under into the forward pocket. Fogarty underneath it. Here's Saligo, got it out, back to Fogarty, got put to ball, trickles away and out of play.
You saw there with Darcy Fogarty the awareness of their size, their body mass. He just watch him tunnel in here. He takes on the tackler. He goes, "No, I'm having you." Bang into him. Most blokes are looking for the exit.
Like
the snap, but no.
Caught at the back this time, but narrowly got it down. Trying hard, Fogarty, to get it out. That ball going nowhere. In the end, it was Rankin who was tied up and a ball up.
Got the senior players down there. Broad, we know, is a consistent performer. Floston and Bolts is the one who needs to lift his rating off last week.
O'Brien down to Rankin, snap, and right last line marked by Michael Annie.
Well, he lined up in the back line, actually on the wing, so he's drifted forward on our side of commentary.
And the 21-year-old, who you wouldn't usually attach to being a prolific goal kicker, kicks his second goal for his career and the first for the Crows on this Sunday afternoon. And look at the delight on his face. All set up by that centering snap from Isaac Rankin. Good start to the Crows.
That was a great start. Actually, Tex Walker, while he was having that shot, was calling all the defenders down to get ready to celebrate with him. So just trying to build that spirit away from home. Of course, one of the defenders getting down and getting involved to be able to hit the scoreboard early. And talking to Matthew Nix prior to the game, it was all about setting this game up today for if they need to come back to play finals on the MCG. They've selected a side they think can really dominate on this ground.
Oh, they'll be back.
Yep. Unless they get 2 home finals and they're back for the big day.
What a role it's becoming, that wing roll, getting the goal square and getting dangerous. We saw Curtin a couple of weeks ago do it. Ollie Dempsey, of course, with the Cats.
Push forward now, he's inside 50.
And then Curvis, the restart down to Saligo, though. Adelaide going forward again. Just a Taylor Walker direction. Hands on it, not to be. Broad trying to race away with it. Hopper. Taken down.
So I think this is something different from Matty Nix here, because Michael Riley never starts forward for the Adelaide Crows. He's manned up with Floston when he gets the opportunity, so something to be a little bit different.
Hopper trying to get it out of there. Touched on the way through. Dawson, Michael Lanny to Peatling, now to Keys. Slick ball movement, kicks goalward and off target, trickles out of play.
Right in that corner, in front of the Crows faithful. He was coming off a rest last week after being touched off by the Hawks the week before in cold Launceston. Prestia, hurried kick, it's in the danger zone, hung for a while. In the end, it was Bolter who's going to kick it long, stop the rod outside D50, grabbed by Sonzi, That was a clever kick in the end, inboard to Mansell, who fumbled it. Trainer followed up, but it's been stolen. Coming through, Millera, Peatling, hurried kick inside 50, nobody home, straight down the throat of Broad.
Broad to Dan Curvis, two of their premiership players. Nate waiting for that kind bounce. Looks for Campbell. Broken up, Hinge. Skims off his knuckles. He's coming, back to Hinge. Hinge is going to retreat. Goes all the way back to Keane. Adelaide a fast start inside. They've led at quarter time in 10 of their 14 games. The opener here. Switches on, Millera. Told to move it. Heads with the contest kick in the skipper's direction. Ball spills to Fogarty. Head pass out to Michael Lanny. Looks up into the forward 50 to a genuine one-on-one. Keys forces it down against Banks. Gets a bit of support. Rankin waited. Hand pass superb to Keys. Can't get boot the ball. Good chase down tackle. Miller jars it free and through for a minor score.
Back out with me, Ben.
Isaac Rankin, hot early, sniffing a goal. Floston's about to bring it back into play. It's all been at one end so far, the City end of the G. So Floston short to Taranto.
Isaac, stay out. Play on.
Taranto kicked long down the line. Lynch went to grounds. And it's going to come back as Millera sends it low and long. They just pulled the kick slightly and Bolter was able to cut it off pretty easily.
It's got to be better than that, Hilly. Their kicks inside 50 at the moment haven't been great from Adelaide Crows when they're kicking from about 60, 70 metres out.
This is where they're finding it tough, the Tigers, just at this point in time. Until they can get a bit of fatigue into that zone that's laid out ahead of them, it's just kick to the wing and hope for contest.
It'll be a fascinating watch today. A fun little back line for the Tigers up against this tall timber of Adelaide. That's a real work in progress.
Tom Lynch gets a chance now if they go down the line. O'Reilly's caught forward of the footy, so it'll be a one-on-one. Oh, well played, Kane.
So Keane at the back. He's going to be pressured here.
Yeah, he's got every right to ask for the free kick there. His arm was held in the contest. He had the drop zone of the ball, wasn't able to release to mark it for Adelaide. And that's got the other challenge. That's the other challenge as well when they are slowed down by the Adelaide Crows, how they actually can get their ball through effectively.
Big cheer for Mark Kelty Folau comes on, the foul.
393 days out from the Kelty Lafau. He might be in the game here. Ross from the stoppage kicks it to the teeth of goal. Lynch competing for it, fucked away from him. Butts with the 1%er. Millera to Worrell. Gets it out of the dangerous area. Out to half-back. Unkind bounce for the Tigs. Philthorpe cleans it up to Neil Bullen, to Walker. Open forward 50. Rochelle one out in the cage. Leaps up. No mark, but he's getting a free. That's not the spot you want to be as a defender.
They got there so quickly, didn't they? They turned them around. Yeah, I thought Miller had a play on that. He didn't really push back hard enough. Could you mount a claim that Brody at no time looked at the body, went for the ball the whole time? I know he's made contact, but he never had eyes on the man, only the ball coming over his shoulder. But we've seen a few players milk this free kick over the weekend already.
Rochelle pops it through, and the Crows are setting a brisk early pace.
Well, it goes back to half-back, and I think that's where they get the bounce that allows Philthorpe to come into the contest. Derm off, it's just a high ball coming out of defence. They just launch it out nice and high. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Lets it bounce. They've got numbers there, the Tigers, but Philthorpe's the one who is able to attack the contest, and then they're out over the back. Walker had 3 options to go with. In the end, uses that penetrating kick inside forward 50. Free kick, Rochelle.
Yep, it is a free, isn't it?
And a nice finish as well.
How about the Sally just cooking with the sauce?
Kicked 30 goals last year, Rochelle. He's at 24 in 2025. O'Brien and Nankervis go at it. Nankervis off the ground, just progresses at 5 or 6 metres, picked up by Vlosten, over the top to Hopper, slipped over at a crucial stage, but he did well, slipped the tackle from Dawson, and then a kick and hope, cut off.
Yeah, that's just superior years in the gym there.
So Smith, with those coral boots, kicks it towards half forward, cut off by Broad.
You seen coral boots before, Hilly, in your time in footy?
Well, we're thinking it's a mix between bright orange and bright pink.
I like it. I like the way you've described them. Just never thought I'd hear that for a boot colour in my life.
10 metres back instead. Thank you. Play on.
Here's Ross on the wing. Down to half forward with the contest kick. Lynch flying.
No, throw it in.
Smith couldn't quite trap up the foul. Ricochets out of bounds.
You were the regulation black boots in your day, Jono.
Just a little bit of coral through them as well.
It's quite topical this weekend, isn't it? The boots and how long the stops should be.
O'Brien whacks it back. Out of play.
You see the theory there for O'Brien, is he put a little bit too much on that, but just getting it out of that zone of Taranto, Hopper and Ross to see if his mids can go to work and get the ball on the run.
As McKelty will foul, one of the 5 guys that did ACLs last year. 393 days out back today. Pushing the back, free kick for Nankervis.
Curtin's already swapped up and pushed up to the wing now, Bradley. He's playing defensive side wing on the outer side. Is at the very top of your screen in the middle.
Smith's there, Jack Dyer medal last year. Did Tank the Tank. That one's cut off by Worrell.
She has a good game down in Tassie, and that very narrow loss to the Hawks. Worrell was fantastic.
Key. Called to play on. No one really pressurising him. So he spears one into the middle of the ground. 2-on-2, punched away by O'Brien. Neil Bullen on the ground, and then kick off the deck. Walker. It's good enough towards Rochelle. Goes back to Walker, trying to manufacture something. Kick off the side of the boot. Doing well after slipping over. Fall took the mark at half back.
Boy from Ballarat, one of their top picks from last year, comes wide to Ralph Smith.
Just can't get any pace on the ball at the moment.
Slow play again here. Contest kick down the line. Leaping up, Worrell had a fair piece of it. Spills down, Elgar, coughs it up. Crows win it back. Peatley. Now away to Laird, high up and under down the line. And Ralph Smith knocks it out of play, but there's a hold. A free kick for Ralph Smith. He's not even sure it's going his way.
Hugo didn't know it was his.
Let's look again at that Lynch collision with Worrell.
Borderline. Phil Thorpe runs behind the footy here, so he gets some big stocks down there to intercept, but it's got to run at it.
Banks kick inside 50, picked up by Ross. Handball out to Prestia. First foray forward. Trainer caught at the back. Curtin with the mark for Adelaide. They switch to the outer side. Miller sinks his toe into that one. They've got some players here. Here's Berry in isolation. Quick movement of the football. A couple of quick kicks. Fogarty caught at the back. Bent the fist. Came out to Smith. Smith back out to Neil Bullen. Brown's on his hammer. Gets rid of it. Just out of play it goes. And it's going to be insufficient intent.
It's a nice tackle by Brown. Did well to close up the space quickly on Alex Neil Bullen, who tried to step him.
So it's Blight with the football. Famous football name. As they horseshoe it around through Banks and now Vlosten for the Tigers.
And to Ralph Smith. Short kicking game down the wing. Links up. Ross.
That's better.
It's a great kick.
See, the key forwards held back then and made a lot of space.
Finds Helga, pokes the kick inside 50, broken up Berry. Safely the boundary line.
That's where he had to turn on his left side. If he turns onto his left and just chips a nice left foot forward, they continue that roll there, the Tigers.
on Lynch's boot. Makes contact there.
Great start for Josh Worrell back at the G.
A couple of contacts. He wish he hadn't come his way.
Free kick for Thilthorpe. Ruck infringement. Short to coming. Adelaide one win in their last 13 games here. It did come earlier this season against the Bombers. It's down the line and inadvertently knocked away off the boot of Bolter.
Right in front of the Richmond dugout.
Tigers have stopped the ball getting deep inside, let's call it inside 25. It's just creeping into the Adelaide forward line now. So they've just started to get a handle on this.
As that graphic told you, Richmond on their last meeting by 8, and then before that it was 32. So Richmond having the wood over the Crows over the last 2 occasions. All free towards Berry, who overruns it. Prestia, quick hands, Hopper into the middle of the ground through Banks, looking for Green. He fumbled, grabbed by Smith, and a stalemate.
Simple skill execution.
Yeah, spot on, Derm. That's all it is on that occasion.
Yeah, they're deep inside 50 if he gets that handle right.
Thilthorpe in the ruck, won it down to Peatling, who just bangs it, hacks it inside 50. Blight outbodied by Walker, fell to Brown, quick hands Bolter, and then Bolter retreats out. This man's a real young talent in a trainer, game 15 today, and every time he has the ball, he usually does something pretty productive with it.
Oh, Hilly right on the spot as he goes with the short kick. Curtin breaks it up on this occasion, trying to head back inside 50, punched away by Banks, couldn't clear it. Walker keeps it alive, stays dangerous, but turnover. Broad. The intercept mark.
11 inside 50s to 4 in the early part of this game. Only 2 goals, 2.
Gee, they're buttoned up defensively, Adelaide, at the moment. There's no easy exits. Turnover again. Smith puts it inside 50. Hands on it from Neil Bullen. No mark. Paddles it back into a dangerous spot. Brown trying to clean up the error. The back pocket. Heads out of the defensive 50. Finds Campbell. Spills a mark he should have taken. To Prestia. Short kick. Trying to get it in a slow playing. Rankin breaks it up. Isaac Rankin always dangerous in this spot himself. 55 metres out, heads for home with the home run drop punt, not to be.
Just kicking the ball at fractionally over 50%. The Adelaide Crows not taking full tote. That's the pressure there. So the Tigers, yeah, they've got a handle after those first two goals. They've got a handle on this game now. They'd be quite happy if they could keep 196 for the day.
So Banks. Short. So Hopper.
So they've tidied up their game when the opposition has the ball, the Tigers. They just can't move the ball past here.
So to the hot spot. Campbell. And also Ross fighting for it. Came to Thilthorpe. Curtin out to Berry. Berry long ball looking for Walker. Takes at the back. Had his name written all over it. Used his body and took it well.
Jacob Blight immediately put his hand up and said, I touched it. So there's the turnover once again. And the umpire, I think, said it was an insufficient touch. They both claimed it was touch, but
just had to do more in that contest. Blight ended up just reaching for it. He had a chance to really jump.
Tried to glide past the body of the two in the pack.
Not a lot of breeze around. Usually swirls here at the G, but nothing really to speak of as Walker sits it out, flirts with the left goal post and misses.
He's finding it at the moment though, Tex Walker. He's leading disposals for Adelaide Crows with 6. A couple of shots at goal already, so he's up and about early.
Is insufficient touch, is that in the law book?
I don't think so.
Touch is the touch.
It's like those ones where you get first touch in a pack and somebody else touches it and then you regain it, they pay it. I don't know where it says in the rules they're not allowed to touch it in between, but that's how they pay it. Jump.
Tom Brown to Trainer, getting across to cover. Neil Bullen knocks it down. Broad bursts away, runs away from Rochetli, heads down to half forward. Ugly looking kick. Crows trying to maintain it. He's led, knocks it back into a tricky spot.
Well done, Nathan Broad. He's kicked the mongrel. The easiest thing right then would have been, I've got to retreat. It's going to come back my way. But he follows on and makes the extra man at that scrimmage.
Laird trying to get it away. Good smother on the way through, but Dawson able to regather. Neil Bullen to Berry to the big man. Here's O'Brien. Dishes it off to Peatling. Back in the side from suspension. Heads down to half forward. In from the side, Michael Lanny. Falls to Brown and Richmond back the other way. Miller to Blight.
So Blight looks further afield. He's got some numbers here. The boy from Warragul. Elgar, second match today. Goes short. Sonzi. So this is the part of the field that they become stagnant. So he chips it to a 2-on-2, and that's a good mark. Good mark in the air from 4.
Take the shot here. Take your time. Have a crack at it. Adelaide's got so many numbers back. It's going to be difficult to hit the short up anyway. Even if they kick to that hotspot term, it's not going to work out for the Tigers. So go back, launch.
So an early opportunity for Jonty 4. Will be kicking from about 54 and gives it everything. And as a result, it's a shank, but it's a score to the Tigers. They're on the board with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Hinge with the kick-out duties, finds Smith. Sub in the last couple of games, gets the start today. Worrell to Curtin. In a couple of weeks, he's had a new contract for him as well, sticking around for another 3 years. To Rochelle. He's got one already. Dawson leaping up, contested grab, not quite. Pressed here at the drop, attracts a crowd.
Five-time Premiership player Dermot Browden with us today, and Brad Johnson, 6-time All-Australian. Co-commentary Sarah Jones on the boundary as the ball trundles towards the boundary. Brown, the first one there.
Just in a bit of a stalemate at the moment since the Tigers have been able to find their pressure, have been able to hold the run of the Crows. The Crows are still winning it, but they're not getting it through inside 50. It's just in stalemate.
And Curvis went to ground, won the tap. Then Curtin hurriedly to Lairds, and then that was really solid on Peatling. Spat out towards Taranto. Gives ground. Hopper takes on one, beat him. Little chip forward. He overclubbed it. Was looking for Campbell. Fisted back in towards the middle of the ground. Hot ball to win this one. Rankin, who's been hot early, going back to Smith. And then Laird grabbed in a tackle. Got the boot away somehow. Hopper goes off the ground, progresses at 30 metres. Keane couldn't mark it. The foul pressures him. Spat out to Berry. Along the boundary, kicks it to a 2-on-2 with the biggest man on the ground. O'Brien took it, and now they're away. Rankin, Keys with speed. Kick inside 50. That's better. Rochelle. He's going to get a free kick.
They paid the mark. Umpire's hand signals suggest he paid the mark.
Well, we'll get another look at it, I'm sure. That was a great fight on centre wing from both clubs. Started with this big tackle from 4, and then Tiger teammates turned up as well. Produced some great efforts, but in the end, Adelaide Crows get the free ball inside 50.
Might have just
Close.
Yeah. Didn't the mark and the fist happen at the same time?
So I would have called play on.
So that's an interesting one. Rochelle looking for his second. Comes in, no breeze, about 45 metres out. Makes the goal umpire dance. And to the right.
16 inside 50s now to Adelaide, 2 goals, 5. So they've had the 7 shots, just their conversion again, which has let them down in recent weeks. It's coming back to haunt them a little bit in this first quarter. They've had a big opportunity to separate this game.
The game in Tassie scored 44 points against the Hawks, and their expected score was 89. Differential of 45, enormous. As Banks long to the wing. Keane had a fair piece of it, led at the drop, got it out. Lafayette hurts his way through. Heads down to half forward for the Tigers. Elgar with a bit to do. Miller off from the back, knocks it down to Neil Bullen. And now to Curtin. The Crows can rebound off the back flank. Heads wide with the kick and Keys to his knees to take the mark.
So inboard short to Hinge. Another short one. Butts.
Side 5. You mate, you.
Happy to work it around the back line at the moment. Some short kicks. Smith out to Laird. And they complete it with Neil Bullen. Keeping's off work here, Laird. Not exactly the most scintillating stuff at the moment, but they're getting it done. Miller.
I don't know if they are getting it done. They're just they're 2 goals 5, but
Saligo.
not getting it done for how much they're winning everything. Contested possessions, clearances, just a little bit behind on marks.
Dawson, 24 touches
Looks to the bench.
against the Hawks.
How long?
And holding a big sign saying T, make of that what you will.
He said it for a while, Dawson. It was like he was trying to work it out.
Rankin centering ball, overclubbed it for Thilthorpe and cut off by Blight.
That's better by Blight. That's a better contest in the air. Well read, good mark.
A dozen more inside 50s, the Crows, and yet leading by just 16 to the wing. Lynch worried out of it. Here's Elgar. Keeps it in front of him. Great chase, Neil Bullen, and pushing it back.
You love the advantage. You love the advantage there.
Come back on. Stand.
Well, you know what? There's no impediment on play. There probably should be advantage.
Yeah.
Hot minute left. Jasper Elgar, the man whose nickname is Rhythm. It's a great nickname. Goes short to Prestia, and he chips it further afield. They've lost him.
You pay it.
Checks his kick. Taranto. Is it time for Richmond? Centering kick. No good one. Hinge picks it off.
Well, it actually was a good one. His forwards didn't react.
They went on the same time.
No.
As soon as they saw him roll onto that foot and go inboard, you got to know what's going there.
Everyone was just sort of standing around watching instead of being proactive, moving into that particular spot.
So leading out, Walker, and then spears one inside and gives Richmond half a squeak here. As Elgar's trundling ball inside 50, got to Lynch, they grabbed him, spills free, dinky little kick along the ground, Campbell dispossessed, Miller clearing ball. And that is all for the first quarter. Sunday ticket, the sun comes out at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Great to be at the great stadium, and the Adelaide Crows enjoying it so far. They lead 17-1.
Well, there we go. It's quarter time here at the MCG. Adelaide 2-5-17. The Tigers, well, they did score that one behind. So they're on the board. It's Adelaide by 16 points. Quarter time here at the MCG. I just want to welcome in, of course, Sheila, mate. Cheer, mega love, shout out. Shouty. Eddie G, that's sad news to hear that you lost your channel. Hey, just put as many as you can up. Just unleash, son, unleash. Get yourself up and running. Do the last 3 quarters of this game. AJU, Chewy, how you doing? You're a bit late, a little bit like the Tigers. That's all right, better late than never. B3, what's going on? Good stuff. I think Ali Lee, how you going? Brisbane Lions is better. Brisbane Lions are good. Pies are best, though. Don't worry about that. Some will say Flagmantle. Some will say Richmond. Some will say Adelaide. Tell you what, it's a good... Look, it's not a bad game here. Adelaide been controlling this game. It looks like they're in control. But the Richmond Tigers, for all what Adelaide have done, they'll be very happy. They're only 16 points. They're only 16 points behind, so they'll be pretty happy where this is at the moment. Adelaide, 2 goals 5. You've got to kick straight. You need to keep going with that percentage. Yay, Flag Mantle. Yay, Pies. Go Pies. Anyway, hey, let's have a little bit of a look at the players' stats. Let me just reload this up because it didn't load up. My gosh. We'll have a look at the goal scorers so far. We predicted 3 for Thilthorpe and Walker. They haven't got any yet. Tell you what, there's only 2 goal scorers. Low goal scoring affair in the opening term. Unexpected. We thought there'd be a bit of a goal feast in this game today. Hey, Charlie, how you going? Now let's go Carlton. I love Carlton. I tell you what, Carlton have got a few issues down there, I think, at Bluesland. They've got the Blues at the moment. Yeah, I know. They're just a bit disappointing this year, aren't they? I mean, they've got some reasonable players. They've got to step up a little bit more this second half of the season. Josh Shelley, Max Michelini, I think that's how you say it. They're the only goal scorers for the Crows and for the game. None for the Tigers so far, 100%. We are from Melbourne. There we go. We're from Melbourne. We've got a few around Melbourne and the Blue Mountains and Perth, all across Australia. Got a few in from Adelaide as well. There we go. Daniel Curtin, the ball magnet so far, out on the ground. For Adelaide, he's got 9, tops the table. No one in double digits at the moment. 5 kicks, 4 handballs, 2 marks, and a tackle. Jacob Hopper, the best. Oh, you're from Melbourne, I think. Yes, oh, tell you what, it's a nice day in Melbourne. 11 degrees. 11 degrees here in Melbourne. At least we've got a little bit of sunshine today, so that's all right. And of course, there we go. 2 months left of winter. We'll be glad to get out of winter. That is for sure. Jacob Hopper on 8 for the Tigers. Top set table, 6 and 2. Tex Taylor Walker getting a bit of the ball. 7 kicks, but he's kicking a bit skew-if. 2 behinds. Come on, Tex. We put you down for 3 in this game. Let's see you do that. Isaac Ranke, well, he should have a field day out there today. He's on 7. There we go. Sam Banks, next best for the Tigers on 7. Dion Prestia, well, he's kicking a bit skew-if today. He's had 6 disposals, 5 kicks, a handball, a couple of clearances. Just needs to be a little bit more direct to his players, turning the ball over a little bit. I just want to have a quick look. There we go. We'll just roll this down there. Riley Thilthorpe, well, he's been held early, which is pretty good from the Tigers defence. Just the 3 touches, 1 kick there for him. Be also interesting to see how the other Richmond forward goes. Nan Curvis there, the big man for the Tigers. Just the 3 touches, 3 kicks, 6 headouts. Couple clearances. Now I just can't remember the name I was looking for. It was Tom Lynch. Tom Lynch down there for the Tigers spearhead. Not seen in the opening term. Hasn't touched the ball, so hopefully he'll perform all right. I was just going to have a quick look at the disposals. There we go. It is 28 plus to Adelaide, inside 50s. That's what I was going to have a look at. 7 to the Tigers. 17 to Adelaide. Adelaide are getting plenty of ball in there. There we go. 7 scoring shots for 17 inside 50s. The Tigers. Tell you what, they just need to move the ball a little bit quicker, create a little bit of space in their forward 50 and give their forwards a little bit of a chance. Try and get Lynch on the move. Free kicks up until quarter time. Tigers getting the best of that. 5-2. So I want to have a run down here. Contested possessions, uncontested. There we go. Turnovers. Tigers turning it over a little bit more. I just want to have a little bit of a look at the... this is what we're talking about. Tigers need to move it a little bit faster inside their forward 50. As I was saying, get their forwards to be able to create a little bit of space. Prior to Adelaide's defence setting up, 0 marks inside 50 for Tigers, 3 to Adelaide. I just want to have a little bit of a look at the tackle count. Of course, tackles a little bit low for both sides. Only 12 apiece in the opening term. No tackles inside 50. Tigers, come on! You got the young bucks down there. You need to start and put a little bit of pressure on inside your forward 50. Start to put that on. Keep your ball inside your forward 50. Adelaide with 3. Let me put that back there. Orlando, how you going? Go the Crows. There you go. Diego Garcia, how you going? He's from Darwin. Oh, well done. Hey, tell you what, we're all around the country today tuning in to this fantastic game we've got here. AFL football. We love it, of course. The best game in the world. And, of course, our favourite sport in Australia. Go the Crows. There we go. The Crows looking good. Hey, Orlando, if you want the Crows to win, don't forget, put your tip in. We've got the poll there. Who's going to win, Richmond or Adelaide? 56%. So far saying the Adelaide Crows are going to win this game. We've got a few Richmond fans in the building. We've got 44% saying the Tigers. All right, I will talk to you at half time. Hey, unless I'm talking to you in the live chat, because we're going to get back down to the action for the second quarter, where it's Adelaide by 16 points.
Period of time, experiment with your ball usage. Well, you've got that honeymoon. That's my belief.
Adelaide by 16. They've lost only twice this year, leading at the first change. And away from home on a ground they've really won at in recent times. It's a good head start. as Hopper hits the clearance out to half forward. Hinge collects, tumbles over, out to Worrell, couldn't trap it. Is that a high tackle? Yes. Curtin over the shoulder of Jasper Elgar.
Good pressure again from the Tigers.
Second gamer sends it in the Lynch direction. Punched away from him. Smith gave it to Hinge, who was wrong-footed, but the Crows work it out anyway. Worrell up to the wing. Dragged out of Bolter. He's going to get a free.
He's taken up some good positions against Fogarty.
And I think that's training throughout the week. Last week was, not the best performance by Bolter, and he was beaten in the contest. But you can see what he's done in terms of his positioning already, and starting to have an effect on his direct opponent, a positive one.
Prestia with just about every man on the ground in front of him.
Got to get a win.
They'll need a contested mark to do it. Slips out the back. Lafau couldn't take it clean. Worrell to O'Brien. Hand pass got it to Laird. Closed down by Green. Oh, there's a bit going on with Lynch.
Oh, Lynch gives away the free kick there, and there's got 3 or 4 around him, but they were going to win that ball back. Laird had nowhere to go with the outlet kick, so that hurts the Tigers in their first real opportunity to win it back in a dangerous spot to score.
Keane's been into him and goading him a bit, and I think as Tom gets older, his fuse is getting shorter.
So Butts takes the free kick, front spot, Fogarty. Good strong mark.
And that's the advantage. These 3 key forwards play in layers, so they look forward, goes in short, but now he's still got Dilthorpe ahead of him.
So Saligo receives it from Hinge. What can he manufacture? Penetrating ball inside 50, punched away. Grabbed by Dawson, tries to slip a tackle. Thilthorpe over the top, but it was cut off. Bolter did well, and then his kick smothered and out of play.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
It's Miller on screen. That's not what the Tigers need at this point.
It's been a good nick too. More consecutive games than any other Tiger. Streak up to 36 today. Down it comes. Taranto got it out. Prestia took on Thilthorpe to Floston. And a get out of here kick. Curtin camped underneath it, picks it off.
Miller's going to have to go against Thilthorpe down there. Bang it into.
Curtin's career high is 16 disposals, by the way. He's had 9 in the opening term. That makes it double digits. Thilthorpe had his name written all over it.
Some good work in the contest by his teammates. I think he identified that Thilthorpe was going to work back to the drop zone. Nice kick by Curtin. Well, that's 6 contested marks for the Adelaide Crows already in this second term alone.
Oh, Noah either went to ground too easily, or the umpire should have examined that action a little more strenuously.
The 3-headed monster goalless for the first time this season last week. Riley Thilthorpe puts him in business. His first of the day. And the Crows stretch it out.
Tigers doctor just running out to Ben Miller now to assess the damage to that ankle. He is moving a little better than what he was a short time ago.
He was hobbling around a fair bit. I thought he might have had to make way and come from the ground turn. But you're right in this contest. So Thilthorpe is on Miller. He changes over, and Fogarty comes in.
Yeah, he went down a bit easy. Just lost his back foot in pushing back, and there was a bit of a push forward.
Yeah, there was. The lapse. His hands in the back.
So Riley Thilthorpe on the board. That torn meniscus, of course, which kept him out of play for the first half of last year, but really got motoring late. Enjoying having a full season at it. Back in the middle. O'Brien tapped it down, Rankin over Radda. Trapped well by Ross. Gets to Dan Curvis, had to be quick. Retreats back to Taranto. Wobbly kick off the boot. Good enough, though, Lafau. So Lafau gets onto it quickly. Kicks towards the pocket. Lynch. Couple of steps behind. Doing really well. Worrell had to hold his ground, and his teammates appreciated it as well.
He's putting together a resume, Worrell, of just really good acts at the right time, isn't he? We saw him the rundown tackle the last outing, and that type of play, then backing into a big key forward who you know's half angry at the moment with his knee coming his way.
O'Brien with the hit out, about close to the boundary line, led to Keys. And keep it alive, and does. Ross. Oh, the hand pass misses Bolter. Put him under pressure. Adelaide win it back. Saligo had it, lost it. Ross the spin move.
Well done, cleaned up his poor effort.
Back down to half forward. Only one man flew. Elgar spills it, regathers. Ralph Smith kicks it deep. Has it got enough carry on it? It does! They count all the same. And Hugo Ralph Smith strikes Richmond's first of the day.
I've got to give credit to Ross because it was a poor handball, hit the deck.
He scudged the handball and then chased it, didn't he?
Yeah. Chased it and he fixed up his mess. And fixing up that mess allowed an opportunity to go inside 50 and kick their first for the afternoon, Doom.
Kept going, didn't it?
It just rolled on. And sometimes you get the luck, don't you? The bounce, he's kicked it as hard and as far as he could.
The good thing there for the Tigers, they just had to get on the board. They have to find some result there. It wasn't pretty. It was, let's be honest, it was darn ugly, actually. They're on the board. They've got to get some reward for all this pressure they've been putting on the opposition.
Well, as a pilot would tell you, any landing's a good landing. And it doesn't matter how ugly it is, it's still on the board. 23 plays 7, early stages of the second quarter. O'Brien and Nankervis lock horns. Nankervis won it down, going to Grand Taranto. O'Brien off the deck, only as far as Banks. Quick hands to Brown, overclubbed it for Ralph Smith, fisted back towards Broad. Broads, or Ralph Smith fumbles, pressured by Rankin, grabbed by Cumming. And over the top, it goes towards Rankin, Dawson, Cumming, just outside 50, looking for Thilthorpe, and straight at him like a rifle.
That was a good change-up of kick, wasn't inside forward 50, because he had Curtin was his first line of sight. He looked at it, decided against and changed up the kick perfectly.
So have a look at this kick. It doesn't spin perfectly, ideally, which usually indicates you haven't kicked it that well, but it gets to the spot.
Are we giving him that? Or do you, I actually am.
Yeah, well, he wanted
that replay there.
That was his target.
Yep.
So Riley Thilthorpe comes in, and the big man's starting to warm up. He's kicked 2.
It's just those, and as Adamuze talked about, they just make errors. They can't stay, their effort doesn't stay at the top of the tree for the whole game. There's just patches, and it was the Hugo Ralph Smith drop, which, I mean, you pick it up, we say, well done, he's gathered that under pressure, but he drops that handball receive, and it gets turned around on the spot, and this is the result from that dropped handball. Simple kicking action, isn't it? He lays back on it a little bit, but everything's moving forward.
Talked about their effort, Derm. The number 1 pressure team Adelaide against the number 18 pressure team in Richmond. So they'll know they're alive today. The young Tigers. As the Crows out the back of the centre square. Here's Worrell. The year he's having down the wing. Dawson sockers it further afield. It rolls out. We wait.
Hang on.
Insufficient intent.
Actually, in centre bounce, if Nankervis was a little bit smarter with it, O'Brien's rushing towards him. If the bounce goes straight, Nankervis just has to engage, hits the deck. Tigers win a free kick because O'Brien has engaged the contact.
Thanks to 1-2 with Brown. Goes long out to the wing. Plenty of hang time on it. Millerer flew. Spills to Ralph Smith. To Mansell. High kick inside the forward 50. Is there a marker there? Elgar reaching for it.
He's been lively. The kid Elgar. Yeah, I've liked what he's done so far. Good lad.
Second gamer from Warragul, and his jumper presented by Brett Delidio last week pre-game.
7 disposals.
O'Brien with the big fist out towards Keys. Just tunnel balls it in front of him out towards Ralph Smith, who flicks it behind. Grabbed by Peatling. The former Giants in this Crows squad as Dawson pats it to himself, pressured out of it by Miller, and then grabbed by Walker over the top to Rankin. In fact, it was Neil Bullen. Out goes to Keys, and his kick was smothered. Good work from Banks. Broad over the top. Dawson over the top, and then Walker shows some strength. He came in. Hurried kick Keys. That's going to float down the throat of Steely Green. Green's going to play on quickly as Hopper sends it outside 50.
He kicks to the wing. Trainer involved in the contest. There's a shove against Curtin.
What have we seen? 3 of those free kicks so far. Contact while you're facing away from the ball.
Till their teams link up. This is Fall, goes long to full forward. Miller slots it down. Here's Helga trying to draw the free. Comes out to Prestia. Kicks to the goal square. Coming, trying to kill it. Just gets it through.
Feeling for Tom Lynch at the moment. Even though there's some young key forwards on the Richmond list and up there. McKelty's out there again today. Fall has had a couple of touches. They are going to Tom Lynch every time, and he's getting ganged up on. One to engage and one to come in from behind.
So Laird, high one to Walker. Couldn't quite drag it down. Worried out of it by Blight. Was good work. He's done a couple of good things early. Spat out towards Broads. Paddled it forward. Fall back to Ross. Ross is going to centre it. Sees Prestia on his own. It was good work. Good spotting.
Give that. He can kick Banks.
He's going to offload to Banks, who sends it long. They need one, and that could be a team lifter. Sam Banks with his 3rd goal this year. What a beautiful kick off the boot for their 2nd.
Know your teammates, Jono. You just know, and he knows as well. If I just shoot around, I'm the pace car, just gliding past the outside, hand it over and I'll do the rest.
But he timed his run perfectly,
didn't he?
That was the key, isn't he? Just he stopped on it, he waited, he held, and then off he went to receive the ball coming from behind, saw the opportunity. Great release. I like the release that was just a little bit forward of them of where Prestia was, so that allowed his direct teammate just to continue into space, Banks, and kick. Beautiful goal from inside 50. Didn't have to pause on his run.
There's a little bit, dare I say, a touch of Dan Houston in that, the way he kicked that ball. Yeah.
He loves him, doesn't he, Adamuze, that try and put the ball in his hands as much as they can. Sam Banks, one of their Tassie Tigers. As Gilthorpe palms it down back in the middle. Ross, hand pass under pressure, but Rankin intercepts, gives it to Thilthorpe. The Crows going forward, looking for that goal back. Rochelle is it knocked away. Nice work, Miller. Keeps his feet, wins it.
Well, he's fixed up at least anyway, moved well.
Heads back down the wing. Kick a little errant and a roll out of play.
That's okay. It works out okay out of bounds in the forward half here for the Tigers. So the mids can set up, the forwards can reset. They create some structure off this.
2 goals each in the term after just 2 goals period in the opening quarter.
Dawson seems to be, he's just playing on the defensive side of the pack here, right hand side of your screen. Try and feed it back to him.
Here he is, right on cue. Tackled, lost it. Taranto. Likewise. Philthorpe to Dawson. Hands it out. Miller trying to get it down the wing, and Ralph Smith takes the jump and mark.
Having a reasonable run here, the Tigers. They're going okay.
Apply a little bit of scoreboard pressure here as Ralph Smith kicks it long to the contest. Lynch not quite. Off hands. Worrell, Keane.
So they've been able to maintain their pressure over 180. 184 still, 190 in the first quarter.
Neil Bullen across the face.
It's the second time Big Tom Lynch has got 2 clean hands to the footy and just grasped it. The timing's not there at this point in time.
He's just mopping up a little fumble. Peatling back to Keane. Plenty of numbers off that side of the ground. But Saul, that was dangerous. Peatling, they're messing about with it a little here. Worrell. Further afield, he's got Saligo. He's going over his head into a 2-on-2. Dawson waits at the back. Miller outpoints them that time. Biggest man in the contest and took the grab.
Oh, he's not back off the mark. So Isaac could get to him.
That's why that's happened.
Yeah,
that's why he's kicked the ball directly to the Adelaide Crows and set them up, because he wasn't that far off because he was looking for the short to start. When you don't get the short, back up, give yourself a chance to actually launch the ball properly, not just pop it up over the man on the mark.
Laurel to Smith. And all the way back he goes to Keane. He'll try out the southern side. To Millerer. He's got a pair of Matty's coral boots on. Sends it up over halfway. And then Walker takes a nice mark.
It's a thing.
Finds Hinge.
They're very popular in Western Australia, I've been told, the coral boot.
Particularly halfway up the state. Shout out to all the folks in Coral Bay. Butts to Laird, back in the middle for Millerer. The Tigers all back.
He's in burnt orange, is he?
There goes the kick in the direction of Thilthorpe, punched away by Blight. Oh, couldn't trap it. Brown. Walker sets up Rankin. Rankin, clever tunnel ball. Got it through, but Richmond clean it up. Miller to Broad. And Broad with a get out of here kick.
They're hoping to get out of here. Smith with a little bit of a fumble. He's scrapping for it hard. Out it came. Sonzi tried to get it towards Nan Curvis, who poked his foot in there. It's a hot potato at the moment. Taranto on the ground. Got it out to Sonzi. Wanted a free kick against Curtin. Umpire says you're not getting one. Look at that Daniel Curtin with the signature. Done a very good job after playing 7 matches in his first year. 4 of them he was activated as a sub late, so didn't really show his wares that much. So he's had a really good season. Ross almost taking Saligo high over the boundary, but nothing doing here.
Leaping off in front of you, Sarah.
In fact, I don't know if it was almost taken high. He was. Get down to Sarah Jones shortly. Throw in. Nankervis hit it hard. Handball to space. Campbell picked it up. Hopper with a dinky little tap backwards, but the Crows might come up with it here. Berry, quick hands, Curtin, spears one to Fogarty.
It was a great lead. He knew exactly where to move then once Curtin got the ball on that left side.
You can see Noah Boulder's mind ticking over. At what stage do I get the opportunity to peel off and run back to the goal square? Because I think he's going long.
If you're going to give it up, this is probably the best spot to do it as a defender. Although, probably is a gun shot at goal, we get that.
He's a beautiful kick.
Well, his stats are very good.
It has been a beautiful kick.
Lafal's just gone down into the rooms with the doctor and the trainer to have further assessment. And Camden McIntosh, who is the sub, is warming up.
Fair sub.
Thanks, Jonesy. 16 points as it was at quarter time.
Michael Lanny on the mark. He's going to get a fair bit of room to run out here.
It's last turn. Measure the kick. Trainer and Hopper both in the pack.
Got to make that handball.
Pressed here on the volley.
Yeah, it's just such an easy thing, Corbin. It puts so much pressure on your teammate, that type of handball, and not under pressure. Put it in front of his chest.
O'Brien got it out. Saligo trying to work through the tackle. Taranto. Saligo got him. Berry works his way through traffic. Down to half forward he heads. Floston in the box seat. No mark. Spills to Rankin where he should be. Shoots Goldwood and he misses too. Everything.
What's Floston up to only? He's had 2 disposals in this quarter. Floston. Michael Annie's had the roll on him from the outset. Kicked one on him in the early part of this game for Adelaide's first.
So Blight ambles out of defence with a long ball. Fall fighting for it. Goes to ground in dispute. Trainer. Hurried ball. Bounces up towards Thilthorpe. Sends it back from where it came. On through the fingertips of Boulder. This is danger. Rankin. Bang. He's been sniffing a goal from the start. And he slots one.
7 score involvements. That's his 14th possession. He's so dangerous, isn't he? I love watching him play.
You can't give him 2 looks in a row.
No. He's had his rangefinder.
Yep. Missed the one prior to this. Gets an opportunity over the back. He's clean.
How clever was he there? It's not tunnelling. Watch him shove. Broadie into the contest. Broad's actually appealing to the umpire. Did you see that? Now, yeah, just get a look at it from this angle. Just watch him come up to Broad and just edge him in. Bang, over it comes. I mean, that takes some footy IQ to do that as well. Broad is a really good player. And he's done him then for game knowledge.
Sarah Jones on the boundary.
Camden McIntosh about to be activated into the game. Mykelti Lafau is out with a calf, so I suppose that's good news that it's not the knee they're concerned with.
Yeah, that's what you open yourself up to. You're susceptible to soft tissue injuries when you come back from those big operations and you haven't had a huge running in terms of pre-season.
Almost 400 days between games, 5 back in the VFL, and unfortunately a calf ends his day early as Prestia puts it out on the full.
Great, I'm glad he got a taste of it, so he'll be upset, he'll be saddened, but got a few more weeks ahead, mate. It's the best, can't you? Yeah, it's the best result of a bad hand he's been given. So he lives to fight another day, though.
It's off hands. Floating ball towards the wing.
Riley. Toby.
Horrible feeling, isn't it, Bradley, when you're
1,000 words there, Dan.
Yeah, when you're a competitor and you have the opportunity to compete, that's taken away from you.
What they will, maybe it's 4 to 6. We'll wait and see how bad the calf injury is for him. But in that period, there will be some youngsters. Adam Muse and Ralphie were talking about some youngsters that are starting to make their way back for the Tigers that they rate really highly. So hopefully by the end of the year, we might see a different lineup out here for them.
Dawson to the contest, and then Blight just diffuses it with a massive fist with interest.
Shaking the finger in there, might have just injured it. Or
He's been...
It's good size, isn't he?
Oh, it's great size, yeah. He's 196, so that's the type of thing. In VFL, he just snaffles that aerially. He just intercept marks that, but league makes you second-guess yourself.
Well, Malcolm has the tool. Maybe he's got the spoil. That went Rose back off the fist of Jacob Blight. Back out of play here for another throw-in.
Yeah, he was shaking the hand, but of the other fist. His left fist, but he's hurt his right hand. I think somebody might have stepped on it previously.
Half forward again for the Crows. Taranto to Ralph Smith. Now Hopper, late at hand pass. Thanks. Down the wing he heads. Body contact for 4. Got a fisk in there. Prestio. What the call there? 3 against Lynch. Immediately he's into the push and shove again with Berry.
Yeah, Berry came at him. You're going to find a willing participant if you go to Tom.
Yeah, I will.
If you put him up, he's not going to say, no, I don't want to do that. No, it's nothing in it, but he's trying to have a clout at him.
No, I'm saying that there's a big donut next to his name in terms of...
He's getting frustrated.
Yeah, so the frustrations are there for that reason.
He might just ping him here. I thought he was going to chase Berry.
Gets a couple of touches in the chain. And he's still chatting to the umpire.
He's giving it to the umpire.
Now descent 50's out the window.
Yeah.
Keen down the wing to Curtin. He'd be a late smoky for the rising star, this man down Curtin. He's getting 50 here.
No stop on the mark. A little bit of movement, was it? Pictures back to Kelty at the foul.
Another 10 metres through the ground, towards the centre. Go out, please. I'm not standing up for this. Time back on. Time back on. Out, please.
That was pretty clear. Jeff Dalgleish, I'm not standing here copping this.
Stay out. Stay out. Josh.
Tom Lynch. Disposal so far today. The frustration evident. Here's Dan Curtin, the fastest rising Crow. The drop punt is superb. And all of a sudden it's as wide as it's been.
13 disposals now, Derm, for Curtin. So continued on from a really strong first quarter and keeping it at 75% as well. Now he's got his goal to Mass. So playing a really strong role, playing forward, up onto the wing, can flow through the contest when required. He's just getting more and more confident every time he pulls the Adelaide Crows jumper on. So
looking at him early days in his first clutch of games, I thought he's a little bit lost knowing where to go and when to go, and playing up in the forward line, if you're there with a gun forward around you, it can benefit you. But when you've got three blokes up there that know where they want to go, it's slim pickings where you get to lead to. So wing at the moment and then occasionally push forward for maximum damage seems to be a pretty good option.
Curtin matching his one goal a couple of weeks ago in Launceston. And Curvis, quick work. Banks receiving it from Prestia and out to Mansell, a sliding mark.
Well, Tom gets another shot here.
So Mansell props it up, looking for the big man Lynch. He's got plenty of work to do. Hinge grabbed it, took it to ground. Going in hard was Lynch again. Hacked out by Laird. Only went 30 metres. Floston's there. They're raffling it. Floston or Michaelani. And Michaelani's claimed it.
He paid that hole in the man.
Michaelani kicking towards the Thilthorpe direction, and Dawson has it now. They're moving off half-back quickly. Laird, short, Neil Bullen. Further afield he goes. One-on-one. Fogarty works to the front. Perfect. So Darcy Fogarty can go back. We know how good in front of goal he is, but he's not on the board yet today. So this is a little bit easier than his previous attempt. He's in about 10 metres in from the boundary. Probably a little bit of breeze just at his back now later on this Sunday afternoon. Big Darcy comes in and splits the middle. So after the goal from Hugo Ralph-Smith to kick off the second quarter, it was goal for a while, but now it's 3 in a row for the Crows.
So late in the quarter, in the first half, most of the first half behind. Just watch this. So there's fatigue creeping in. So watch the precision kicking. So this is a slow play. Bang, comes up the line, drop it on to the captain's head. He turns around, whack, handball, in movement, short, hit up, and then long. He's got them turned around here. Jacob Blight's trying to play assertive, and then comes back at the footy. Just that's playing the right way against a team which has got fatigue into them. You've got one-on-ones, you've got spaces open up, you get it to the fat side, you take it down that wing. Well played.
3 goals in 9 minutes Adelaide's way to open up the game. Rankin to O'Brien to Peatling. Perry bursts his way through. Dishes it off to Laird to Millerer. Now up to half forward. Hinge marks, rolls into the forward pocket. Dawson! That's what he does.
Well, they're 5-1 from 12 inside 50s this quarter. Efficiency is back to where Phoenix would like to see it as a coach. Dawson's got a chance here to add to that. Perfect side of the ground for Dawson. So we'll see whether he's going to snap this around on his left.
That's the approach. Off the preferred left, peg hasn't hit it. Fumbled through by Sonzi. Geez, a threat in the air though, isn't he, Dawson?
Absolutely. Oh, he's a good size to start with. 190 centimetres, but always been capable of taking a good overhead grab.
3 marks today, 15 disposals for Dawson. Top of the pops for the entire field out there. Floston wrong steps his opponent and then wrong steps himself and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
You're inside.
So you can hear the instruction coming, heading in the Rochelle direction. Pressured off it by Hopper, picked up by Ross, speared one to Bolter.
That was so good from Hopper to go fill that hole up and get in the front of Rochelle.
So with confidence, the exuberance of youth, Elgar takes on his man. Palmed off to Ross. Sends it to
Lynch.
forward.
Lynch is in a lot of trouble here. I've just seen a big whack now. We'll wait to see a replay of the severity of it. Buttsman to ground. He's sitting up now. But it's frustration. He's gone again.
Yeah.
He's gone again twice.
He's been reported as well.
Could go 3 times here. This is...
So if you have a look at that play, it was Tom Lynch in the marking contest against 3 Adelaide Crows players, and that's what I said before. He's taking on 2 or 3 each time. It's got to be.
Yeah, he's just gone again. He's just had another swing at Butts high, and Kane's come in again because he's got to. They're going to have a crack here at Lynch. He'll do something silly again.
What would you do if you're Adamuso right now?
No, he's a senior player. You've got to let him work his way through it. I know you can say take that decision away from him. I believe you've got to let Tom work his way through this.
They've thrown Noah Bolter down to try and support him in the air as well.
Yeah, he's just getting double tagged because they don't have another aerial target.
Spot on.
So the free kick was given up the ground, and now the Crows switch play towards the outer side. A little bit of frustration and feeling coming into it as Hinge goes out to Millerer. We'll have another look in a moment at what we have just seen as Hinge takes on his man with confidence. Kick inside 50, looking for Fogarty. Just a little bit.
He wasn't
offline for him.
Tom wasn't getting double teamed. He was getting triple.
That's the first one. So it's on the back of the head.
He's had a swing at him.
So it's a good swing. So it's a frustration. And then he has another crack here with Worrell as well.
McIntosh the sub. One for Lafau is off with a calf complaint, puts it out on the full. He's got one more report than disposals today for Tom Lynch. Less than a minute before half-time. A frustrating day for the Premiership Tiger. To the hot spot. Philthorpe met immediately.
Straight up there, please. Straight up, please. Straight up, please. Thanks, Nick.
And a 4:50 stoppage here for the Crows late in the term. Then Curvis, first hands on it. There's a high tackle and a free kick. And Hopper's going to get it. And then Rankin on him, a bit of feeling, as you can clearly see.
Now, that's for sure.
So 30 seconds. We'll leave it to you two to commentate on the siren because it could get a bit feisty.
So Hopper's kick marked by Laird in the middle of the MCG. One more foray forward for them, it seems, is coming. Low darting ball. Miller off the ground. Only as far as Millerer. Disposes of one, gave it to Dawson. Kick inside 50 towards Rochelle. Couldn't complete the mark. Under pressure, Sonzi, it's in the danger zone. Rochelle, can he snaffle one more? On the siren, he can. Oh, it's one real blow to the Tigers late. Rochelle's kick 2, and there's going to be a review.
Just score review that, please. Umpire scores a goal, but please check.
So let's have a look. Did Broad get a handle on it? Doesn't look like he did. Make your own mind up there. Three Richmond players throwing fingertips at it.
Soft calls a goal, so he's going to have conclusive evidence that it wasn't touched. Sorry, but it was touched. We'll have to.
So meanwhile, the two teams have parted company and wandering off the ground quietly.
Probably the best result for the umpires.
Had a frenetic final 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll have the full analysis from Dermot Brewer and Brad Johnson in a moment.
There is insufficient evidence to determine if the ball was touched by the Richmond defender.
So it'll be a goal. He'll notch up his second, Josh Rochelle. As I mentioned earlier, he's racking up the goals this year as well. It's his 25th. So the soft call was a goal, so it'll stand as a goal. So right on the siren as the timekeeper blew the siren, the goal went through. So it is going to be 41 points as we head into half-time. The Adelaide Crows, who have really put their foot down late, the end of that second quarter with 4 goals on the bounce. Little team meeting before they leave the arena. Entertaining stuff here in the second quarter at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and there's still more football to come as well, as Fremantle and St Kilda are coming up as well. You can view that. So plenty of football still to come on a Sunday afternoon.
All right, there we go, half-time. We'll be back with the commentators not too far away for a bit of analysis on the opening half there, folks. But I tell you what, Adelaide 8-7-55, doing it well against the Tigers today, 2-2-14. Of course, Adelaide putting on 6 goals, 2 in that second term. The Tigers, 2 goals, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Adelaide, final 4 goals of the second term. Looking good, looking nice and cruisy. Tell you what, there was a little bit of fire, a little bit of heat, a little bit of excitement late in that second term. Looks like Tom Lynch is going to be taking a trip to the tribunal, and I think he might get a little bit of vacation. The swinging arm whack in the back of the head of the Adelaide Crows player. I think he'll do some time. A little bit of heat coming into the game. Tell you what, it's getting feisty. It's getting feisty, folks, out there. Is this going to boil over in the third term? We'll just have to wait and see. But you know what? At least Richmond are showing a little bit of fight, even if it's not on the scoreboard. There we go. Tell you what. Yeah, it's just frustrations for Tom Lynch out there today. I don't think he's touched the ball in this opening half. Of course, he's always got 2 on 3 up against him because he is probably the leading target down there for the Tigers. And it is just frustration. As the commentators were saying, they need to stick another tall down forward. Someone like Bolter or someone like that. So the Tigers have got another tall target down there. And the Adelaide Crows just aren't always easily defending off Tom Lynch down there when the Tigers are kicking it long into him. Tell you what, he's having a tough game, that is for sure. But I think the move needs to be made with the Tigers. You know, take Bolter. He's got to come off out of the back line, stick him down forward, or get another leading target down forward for the Tigers, because it's all just too easy for the Adelaide Crows there at the moment at this stage. The Adelaide Crows it looks like they are in cruise control in this game. The Tigers are trying hard, make no mistake. They are trying hard, but just the class and the skill of the Adelaide Crows, well, it's setting these two teams apart out there today. I tell you what, it does look like pretty well perfect conditions at the MCG. 11 degrees, partly sunny, a chilly day, a crowd of around about 30,000, so not a big crowd. So, hey, if you still want to head out to the footy, get out there. You'll probably get a seat wherever you want to sit. Which is always good. A little bit different to the 80, 90,000 crowds. Even a crowd like that is all right. But I tell you what, Adelaide in cruise control at half-time. 6 goals, 5, 35. That is the margin, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? No, it's 41. No, it's 31. Oh, my gosh, what am I saying? There we go. No, it's 41. 41. There we go. 6-5, 41. There we go. That's the margin at half-time. Yo, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, did you follow Adrian new channel there? His link's there in the chat. Just click on that, folks. Get everyone. Be fantastic if you all give Adrian a follow over on his new channel. There we go. He's got 2 at the moment. He's got both of my channels. Santa all right, follow along, everyone. Follow along. There we go. Hey, let's just have a little bit of a look at the live ladder as it stands. Of course, the Adelaide Crows, their percentage is just building. They'll want to continue to build that and get that as high as possible. They don't want to ease up or let up on the Tigers here today, unfortunately for Ryan. They don't want to ease up on the Tigers because Adelaide need to secure their spot, and they're certainly doing that with this healthy percentage of 138.7. Moving up into third spot with the victory here today, that is where Adelaide sit on the AFL ladder. Of course, 80G's Fremantle sitting down there in 8th spot. I tell you what, if they win today, they'll move back up into 6th position. I don't think they can make enough of that 8.4% trailing Hawthorn, or that 17% for the Geelong to move up there, but they'll certainly need that to win today. We'll be covering that game next, so stick around, folks, stick around. That game, let me just have a little bit of a look and see. That game is actually coming up in 40 minutes' time, so we'll actually probably cover the last 3 quarters of that game, Fremantle St Kilda. Looking at the goal scorers here so far this afternoon, up until half-time. Riley Thilthorpe, he's kicked 2 with Shelley. We thought we did tip Riley Thilthorpe to kick 3 and Tex for 3. Tex not yet on the kicked a major yet, just the 2 behinds. But Riley Thilthorpe, he's done the job. He looks good out there. 9 disposals, 2 goals. Josh Shelley 2, kicking 1 late on the siren. Isaac Ranke. Michelini's got 1. Fogarty and Curtin, of course, for the Tigers. Ralph Smith, Sam Banks, both with a single. All right, we'll come back and have a look at the player stats in a moment. Let's just head back down to the commentators for a little bit of a analysis on the opening half.
You go through all the things we would normally go through. They're just a class above them. They're just a better team.
Spot on. And look at Richmond, their pressure's been okay, and they've had some moments themselves. But Adelaide, you're right, they are that next level above. But they'll be brought down a little bit. They've got a lot they need to clean up. They did in that second quarter, especially conversion, which Matty Nix will be pretty happy with.
And they're being able to punish them on turnover. It is the 6th best opening half under Matthew Nix, 46 points in the advantage of turnover.
Forward half turnover in the first quarter. As we were saying, the opportunities that were quashed, that they kicked 3 behinds from forward half turnovers in the first quarter. They got it rolling in the second quarter. I don't know, they might have kicked 4 or 5 from forward half turnovers. I haven't seen the numbers yet.
5-3-33,
There you go.
So
well, the 3 points were from the first quarter. So they kicked 5 straight goals from forward half turnover in the second quarter. So that's how the game felt. They got their class players into it. Isaac Rankin was one who we talked about. He's one of those class players. As you said, Bradley, he got a sighter. He missed everything, but you don't want to give him a second one because he's just so capable, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's had a free run. He started at half forward, worked up behind the ball, and then through the midfield. And then once he gets going, some really touches, then he becomes very difficult to stop in a game of footy. And he's clean and he's precise with his disposal as well. So therefore, he gets good midfield ball, but it's forward of centre ball. And this is the second one.
That's craft there. I mean, it's kind of half dangerous the way he moves Broady into the contest. But you know that Broad, he's got to help other teammates, so he's getting a bit of latitude there against Broady.
9 score involvements having a massive impact on the game. Dan Curtin, Jono, freshly re-signed, and Crows fans would be mighty happy with that.
Very, very happy, that's for sure. 3-year extension, but what he's been able to do today was excellent. 9 disposals in the first quarter, so you go, okay, fast start. Can he back it up in the second and continue to build a really strong performance over 4 quarters this afternoon on the MCG? And he's doing that. He's now got 13 for the half. He's kicked a nice goal. He goes back and works defensive. He's playing half forward wing, steps around inside the contest when required as well. But in the air is where he's really lifted his game. He's got confidence now with his marking abilities, and he's having another good game.
Yeah.
Proving a tough day at the office for Richmond spearhead Tom Lynch. Talk to us about these days where you just can't get your hands on the football, you get frustrated, your team's losing, and then perhaps you lose it.
That never happened for Durham.
No.
Well, it compounds because Kelty Lafau is off the ground, so a little bit of a rake of the boot across the side of the head there. So you know the ball in the air is going to go to Tom. They're chipping back on him, so that wasn't his opponent. That's a man coming back. Well done by Worrell too, I might add. And there you go. There's a 2 on
that's
him.
The one there. That angle there. The
last time I saw a swing like that at that end of the ground was the same namesake, Alistair Lynch, on this oval. That's a big wild swing there. So he's getting ganged up on without the other key forward there to be a diversionary. He's getting 2 or 3 opponents in the air, and he cannot get a handle on the footy.
Let's go to our tribunal expert in John Ralph. How much trouble is he in?
He's in plenty of trouble. I asked Tom Lynch a month ago about his reputation as a tribunal regular. He said, I've been suspended for 2 weeks across my whole career. I think he's likely to double that one. Now, again, we see it so rarely, but he does make contact there with Butts. You'd hate to think that he could have followed through and really got him hard. But Michael Christian could do whatever he wants. Now, it's clearly intentional and behind the play, so maybe it's high impact. The look of that strike is something that Michael Christian factors into. Of course, he had some scuffles with other players, including Worrell. I don't think there was a lot in those, but would you be comfortable with 2 weeks for a frustrated old bear who this time very much hit his mark?
He actually got reported for the second punch. So that first one was a free kick against. He gets in the scuffle again, then gets picked up and punches again. So that's where the umpire comes in and reports him on the spot. But it's the first one, which is the severe one in terms of the action.
And it goes without saying he's got to be better than that. But they take on Geelong, down at Geelong. This is why he's here, trying to marshal the young forward line. And then against Essendon on a night where Noah Bolter's not allowed to play, but given a curfew. So, look, he knows better, but I'd imagine a couple of weeks. And again, his coach should be shattered, because sometimes when it's not going your way, you've got to suck it up.
Speaking of shattered, Mike Helty looked really sad on the boundary. Obviously, such a long road to get back from that ACL. On the positive side, it's not a knee, it's a calf, but disappointing nonetheless.
It's a magnificent calf injury. I know how silly that sounds, but he just has to, when he gets to the end of today, he'll think Judson Clark, who did a lot of rehab with him on an ACL tear, came back and tore his ACL again. So it's a calf injury. He'll miss about a month. I know he'd be shattered, but he is contracted for next year. He will have better days ahead of him. So terrible news, and yet a huge silver lining.
A big game over in the West tonight, Fremantle and St Kilda. And is Nat Fyfe on the ground or starting as sub?
He's starting as sub. He might be the super sub, even though we might get rid of the sub next year. It's fascinating. He's keen to play on next year. I think Fremantle at least open to it. He's got 8 weeks and maybe finals to prove to this football club that he can impact in the midfield, even when Hayden Young comes back, but also as a forward. Guys, what do you think about his long-term future? Because it's hard to get midfield reps in that star midfield. He's got to impact inside 50.
He needs to show something. What we've seen so far this season when he has appeared, he hasn't had any impact whatsoever.
He hasn't, but we've seen Sidebottom, Pendlebury, these guys that Walker, he was gone 12 months ago. Now all of a sudden he's having an impact again.
Jack Gunston as well.
Will that happen for a Nat Fyfe? Possibly it will.
Fingers crossed it does, but
well,
you don't at that age, but he's moving not as well as some of those old blokes you just mentioned.
No doubt. So, St Kilda, of course, waiting for a contract confirmation for Naz Wangan and Miller. So is Adelaide playing today. So the Adelaide offer's about 8 years at $1.2 million. Now, his manager had some discussions with Steve Silvani, the Saints list manager, over the weekend. St Kilda are really confident. They feel like he's not overly homesick. He's in a share house with blokes he loves. He loves Ross Lyon. I think the Adelaide view would be that if he is to return home, Port Adelaide, they're very strong favourites. So those talks over the next 24 hours will be critical. But I think St Kilda would still feel they're in the box seat, with Port Adelaide second, Adelaide very much third.
All right, we'll wait and see. It is one of the stories of the year because he's one of the players of the year. Thank you very much to John Ralph. Well, we'll be back after the break with plenty more action from the MCG. The kids are braving the cold and enjoying a spot of Oz kick out in the middle. And it is the Adelaide Crows with the 41-point lead heading into halftime.
All right, there we go. A little bit of a wrap up with the commentators there. All right, let's head back over. Everyone's favourite time, of course, that's having a look at the stats of the players' stats. Check out your favourite players. See where they're going. See what they've had so far. Of course, leading disposal getters on the ground come from the Adelaide Crows. Isaac Ranke, Jordan Dawson, both on 16, both with 7 kicks, 9 handballs. Pretty identical. 4 on 3 marks, 2 tackles, 4 clearances each. Isaac Ranke, 1 goal, 1. Jordan Dawson not on the scoreboard yet. Josh Worrell there for Adelaide, next best on 15. Best for the Tigers, Jack Ross and Dion Prestia, both on 14 disposals. Wayne Miller is going all right with 14 there for the Crows. And let's roll on down. Sam Banks for the Tigers, 14 touches, 11 kicks, 3 handballs. He's had 3 marks, 2 tackles, kicked a sausage roll. Well done. He's doing all right. Taylor Walker, come on, Tex. We want to see you hit the scoreboard with a major. He's had 11 touches, 8 kicks, 3 handballs, 4 marks. He's just hit the 2 behinds, though, at the moment. Nick Vlosten there, just with the 9 touches there for the Tigers. A few of these Tigers, come on. let's get going. Hugo Ralph-Smith, 9 disposals, 1 goal. Going pretty well there for the Tigers so far. Noah Bolter just with the 8 touches, 7 kicks, 1 handball. Stick him down forward, Tigers. Come on. Uze, that's what we want to see from you. As the coach, stick him down forward. Give Tom Lynch a little bit of a help down there. Or even sticking Toby Nankervis down there and giving someone else a bit of a chance in the ruck. 15 hit-outs for Toby Nankervis. 2 clearances with his 7 possessions there, which would be pretty good. Certainly like to see that happen. Definitely needs a little bit of help. Josh Richelli there. Well, a little bit quiet, although he's kicked 2 goals, 1. He's just had the 5 disposals, 4 kicks and a handball. 2 goals, 1, as I said. He kicked that goal on the siren, which was good for him. Pumped him up, gave him a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of, confidence. Confidence, there we go. As we're saying, down the bottom here, Tom Lynch, as we can see, hasn't touched the ball. No disposals, no kicks, no handballs, no nothing. He needs to get into the game. Tell you what, but they need someone down there to support him down forward for the Tigers. Looking at the team stats now, there's plus 60 to Adelaide overall in disposal count. As I said, they're just in cruise mode at the moment, the Adelaide Crows. We're only a few minutes away for the bounce of the ball for the 3rd quarter to start this second half. Let's have a look at a few more of the team stats before we head on back. It's plus 35 kicks, plus 25 in the handballs. Inside 50s, Adelaide doubling Richmond's inside 50. The Tigers have been inside, though, 17 times for 4 scoring shots. However, the Adelaide Crows, 34 inside 50s going above season average of 55, 15 scoring shots, so they're going pretty well. We look at the disposal efficiency around the ground. Richmond have been a little bit sloppy, so they need to lift that a little bit cleaner with the ball, whereas Adelaide are 74% above season average. They just seem to be a bit cleaner and, well, a little bit more composure when they do have the ball. Free kicks, 10 to 8, tightening back up there. Tigers plus 2 in the free kick count. Adelaide winning the hit-outs by 5. Clearances, well, it's not too bad by the Tigers, actually. Adelaide 18, 15 to the Tigers, plus 3 to the Crows, plus 1 in the centre clearances, plus 2 stoppage clearances around the ground. Contested possessions, plus 16 to the Crows. There we go, uncontested. That's just the control of the ball we were talking about, plus 47 to the Crows as they're doing that. Of course, they're going to mark the ball a bit more. There we go, plus 31 in the marks, plus 7 in marks inside 50. That's what we're saying. Richmond just can't seem to find their targets down there. They're going to Lynch all the time, and he's just been double and triple teamed, and then just not finding the space. Maybe they need to find a different target. As I said, maybe they need to stick another tall down there to help Lynch out. Contested marks, Adelaide 7, Tigers 0. Look at the tackle count. There we go, the tackle count, 25-27, a little bit low on both teams. Need to lift a little bit more pressure in for both teams on the tackle count. But Adelaide, on average there, 5 tackles inside 50. Well done to them. Richmond, still yet to lay a tackle inside 50. They need to lift there. All right, folks, hey, let's get back down to the action. Don't forget, everyone, I've left a link in there for Adrian's new channel. Be great if you could head over, support him and give him a sub. Let's head back down to the ground, whereas the Crows by 41.
Protecting a near 7-goal advantage. We start this second half. Sunday ticket on Fox Footy as it's straight down.
Careful.
Perry, who's held up.
Thank you. Back here this way.
It's goal for goal early in that second term, and then Adelaide put their foot on the gas, kicked the last 4 goals. Open up a game-high lead right on half-time. Campbell gets it going forward for Richmond. Fall, knocks it on, but straight to Keane. Out of a defensive 50 to Peatling. He's mowed down. Back into dispute. Fall's not going anywhere. Of course, Lockie Murphy, the sub for Adelaide, still yet to be activated. Unfortunately for Richmond, they lost McKelty Lafau to a calf injury in the second term.
Down to McIntosh on as a result as Berry just tries to paddle it to himself, but was pressured well. Inboard, Campbell. And into his own man. It was grabbed by Nankervis and another stalemate as the lights start to take full effect here Early part of a Sunday evening at the G. O'Brien won it down. Campbell, Prestia, Green, back to Prestia. Ralph Smith running laterally, and then Skies one in the Lynch direction. Couldn't quite grab it. He's taken to ground. Laird goes back to Worrell, who's had a good first half. Was a wobbly old one, mongrel punt, but it was cut off by Keys.
Well, if he was ever going to win a free kick in this game, Tom Lynch, it was right then. I thought he had every right to complain about that one.
And his best moment to win a ball as well.
Michael Annie scoops it up on the wing to Rankin. Floston had it, lost it.
That's a great tackle.
Harris fights through it. Got it away. Ralph Smith, though, to Broad. Spears it, looking for Fall. Can't complete the mark, but plenty of numbers there to support. Gives it to Hopper. Looks for Lynch. Caught wrong-footed.
He just missed him with the kick.
Keane just runs straight past Lynch. Sends it to centre-half back, and here's Josh Worrell. He's putting together an all-Australian type season. What a breakout year he's having.
16th touch. Down the line towards Phil Thorpe. A little bit too hot for him. Two-man standing tackle on Michael Annie, who kicked the first goal of the game. Balled it up.
Once again, you feel for Tom Lynch. He got on the lead. He got the front position. And a 20-metre dab kick from Jacob Hopper completely misses the mark. Hopper again.
Hopper, kick in the Elgar direction. It was Worrell once again. Hinge sends it low to O'Brien. He's got a couple of players at his disposal, including Dawson. 51 metres out, chip to Philthorpe. Timber. And he comes inboards. Walker.
Now, they didn't play that well at all. The Tigers, the two boys, they had front coverage on Thilthorpe and a rear player, and they just, neither of them put body against him, so he was able to still say, just kick it towards the chalk of the boundary. And it was a no contact receive mark.
So Tex comes in from about 40. And the Adelaide Crow supporters behind the goals absolutely love it. And now the three skyscrapers down forward have all kicked goals. Phil Thorpe with 2, Fogarty with 1, and now Walker with 1.
Yeah, poor defence there. The start was the two Richmond boys. We're going to look at the lead up to this. Well executed by Taylor Walker, we know that. So, you see, Light's got him on the inside, but watch Thilthorpe come back. You've got Miller and Broad. Now they're sandwiching Thilthorpe here. Look at him. Neither make contact. Neither make contact. One has to engage. Just has to engage and take away his ability to run to wherever he wants to receive the footy. That's really poor team defence.
Goalless last week, the big 3, 4 and counting today. As Dawson sits on top of it, he's taken high.
Makes the stand.
Hopper gives away the free. And Dawson gets Adelaide moving forward again. Great kick to Michael Annie.
It's just the knee's good.
Different look for him today, so starting on the wing, got forward, kicked the first of the day.
So we're 47 points ahead here. This could seriously fall apart now. We're going to lock in, lock on, reapply that pressure, the Tigers. Otherwise, Adelaide, with their skills, their ability, they could really put an extraordinary total on here. We've seen them kick some big margins, big totals this season already.
1 goal in his first 59 games. He's got 1 already today. Michael Annie now has 2. Max value.
Been a different role today too.
Yeah.
So, and it's one that worked in the first quarter, a bit quieter in the second, although Boston's impact in the game hasn't been as significant as we have seen. And gets another one there. So all of a sudden, it's just something new, a different look up forward for the Adelaide Crows, some flexibility with what they're producing so far with their looks forward to the ball. And he's just another one they can add to it.
It gives Matthew Nicks great flexibility, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, it gives him a player who he knows he can play at both ends now. I didn't know Michael Laney could do this as a forward.
There you go.
I mean, there's a little bit of a similar craft in being a pressure forward if you're a backman turned into a forward, a pressure forward, but to be able to kick goals as well, it's a good find.
7 individual goal kickers for the Crows so far today as O'Brien won it down, but Ross, with his eyes darting around, looking for options. Floston comes charging off the flank. Kick inside 50, a shallow entry. Lynch, was he being held? Umpire didn't think so. Laird goes back to Keane in the phone booth. Restricted area. Kicks it out only as far as McIntosh. Grabbed by Nan Curvis. Works it forward towards Sonsie. Centering kick. Ralph Smith's there. Marked by Trainer. So Luke Trainer can go back from 45 metres out looking for his first goal in AFL.
Keep with that play. I've had my binoculars on Tom Lynch. He is constantly still going to umpires, arms outstretched. So how often do they have to hold me before you are going to pay a free kick to me? He is still more centred upon the umpires than perhaps locking in.
So Luke Trainer comes in directly in front. We've dreamed of this moment, and it's looking good. Goal kicking's in the blood. The grandson of Geelong and North Melbourne goal kicking great Doug Wade has kicked his first ever AFL goal at the MCG.
Spot on, Derb. I heard you in the background, just a little well done. It is, isn't it? It's significant in your career when you're able to nail your first one, especially here at the home of footy, the MCG. So congratulations to that young man. Something that he'll never forget throughout his football journey.
Weird that Fogarty didn't mark too. It's had a couple of weeks where he's had some good patches and some good form, and there's been a couple of times where I thought, gee, that contest could have been better. But he's a young player finding his way. He's got some talent.
11 top 20 picks on their list. They got 7 playing today. And young man, one of them, Luke Trainer. A moment for him.
Great tap. Well done, Nan Curvis.
Down to Taranto, gets it going forward. Sonsie knocks it on. Worrell intercepts it. Tackle. Sonsie gets a second go. It's helped to him. Oh, he's in trouble. I saw it differently, said he tucked it in.
That's a holding.
Happy with that, Dan?
Yep, that's it.
There's Rory Laird, along with Taylor Walker, the only 2 left from the 2017 Grand Final. Kicks down the wing, over the head of Curtin. Oh, buried in the tackle. Right, holding the ball. And Curtin's going to be rewarded. Doing it with ball in hand and without at the moment. Dan Curtin kicks down to half forward. Phil Thorpe has Floston hanging off him, gets the free.
Yeah, facing away from the ball. He's going to play on here.
He takes on Floston on the mark. Riley, Phil Thorpe shoots goal, but he misses. Near side of behind. He's got 2 today. Couldn't add a third on that occasion. The lead is 8 goals.
The communication of the umpires there.
There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on.
Yeah.
Watch Phil Thorpe. All a part of the theatre of it as Banks kicks it long in the fall direction, and again involved Daniel Curtin diffuses. There's a Dion Prestia there.
That's the right place for him in games like this.
Adam Uze or Dion Prestia?
Not Prestia, no, Uze. I mean, in this type of game, it'd be a brave man to suggest that they've still got a chance of winning this tie. So you want to be able to have face-to-face coaching with your team as they come off the ground in these types of moments as the Richmond coach.
Green, Taranto, touch of the fumbles, heading back in the Taranto direction, but Peepling beat him to the punch. quick handballs from the Crows, but they've coughed it up. McIntosh taking a tackle right on the chalk. True centre wing.
Headband from McIntosh today, do.
Son's headband.
He's taking it off.
No sweat. It's too cold.
Smith gets it back over the stoppage just was. It's a free kick for a hole. It's going Fogarty's way.
That Crows pressure we just saw down to 11%. So they haven't put their foot off the gas.
Nah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Fogarty, the long kick into the forward line. Is there a marker down there? Over the top comes Broad and punches it away.
Keys. Neil Bullen just skirting around the back. It's just that ominous threat of the Crows could drop the pedal at any moment here.
Saw McKelty Lafau, 393 days between his AFL appearances. Lockie Murphy is still waiting to come into the game, the unused sub for Adelaide. Here's Ross. There's a full 360 before getting it out of there. Up to the wing. Lynch shepherded out of it. All okay, said the umpire. Bunce did well.
So that's a free kick. You shepherd him away from it and let the ball bounce. You haven't given him an access to the ball, and that's unfair. That's a free kick.
Kane to Rankin, who marks on the wing.
So Rankin to Miller up. Long ball towards full forward. Big men fly. McIntosh, can he control it? Nat Curvers. Rochelle hovers. Oh, but it may have hit the post, did it?
It hit David Roden, I think.
So I'd love to see a replay of that.
So would I, because I think it's hit the legs of Roden, who's in line with the post.
Okay, so it's going to be a behind, and would have been... I think it may have hit the post, which looked like it deflected off the leg of David Roden. So a poster and a behind.
Adelaide win it back. They played most of this game in their front half. Controlling the footy again here in the third. So Laird over the top to Dawson. Oh, got some contact from Taranto. In the motion of Markey.
Thanks, Tim. You're right. Hold on. Stand.
Fine margin there, Jono.
Very, very close. Could have easily been paid 50 metres.
Dawson just lays it up in the direction of Thilthorpe. Slips through his hands. Keys at the back. Shoots. Misses.
This is a kick and drop punt there, Keys.
Yep. Or a right foot.
Yep.
That's only for standing
There
on.
it is. Oh, D. Roden got out of the way. Great movement by David Roden.
Fleet-footed.
He gave it an ollie.
Sharp like that when he used to play.
So Banks, no Mark Miller, comes out the Worrell direction and the Curtin direction, and Worrell fighting for it hard, pressured over the boundary line. So a neat 50 points, the margin. It's Tom Lynch, who was reported late in the second quarter.
Jack Ross has had 3 clearances already in this third quarter.
Quick kick off a step, Sonsie looking for Mansell. Again, it's Worrell involved and balled it up. Worrell with 19 disposals, but it seems like he's been in everything. It's Isaac Cumming heads to the pine. Berry clears the congestion. Light got a fingertip to it. Broad went in with his body. On the ground, Keys out to Rankin. Rankin looking to manufacture some danger again. But his kick was pulled a bit short. Miller was in the front spot, fell back to Neil Bullen. Now Saligo wants a piece of the action. Skies a ball to the top of the square. There's Tigers there. Trainer in the end rushes it over for a behind.
I saw a few of those mid-season All-Australian teams. Didn't see Josh Worrell's name mentioned too much. Should he
He'd be in contention, yeah. Over the last month as well, he's been so good. No, he's putting together a good body of work.
Yeah.
Out of the players within the Adelaide Crows, do you think they would have nominated him as a club? Or would he be down the list a little bit with what they've got?
Froston comes wide on the kick out. Curtin intercepts it. What a month of footy he's putting together. Great kick inboard. Superb. And Max Michael Lanny's got it again.
I think it was like the old days, Bradley. Yeah, they probably would nominate. Yeah, I think he's been going that well. This is a big win the longer this goes on and the more we see Michael Laney get shots at goal, he's not just a pressure forward, is he? He's getting to the right places, dropping into the right holes.
One goal in 59 games, and Max Michaelani has busted out in front of the big sticks today. He's on a goal-scoring binge. He's got 3.
Well, the move of the round by the Adelaide Crows has worked extremely well.
I wonder if Nixie will just go with the rotation, take him off now, give him a breather on the bench.
So such a good effort from Michael
See him
Laney.
come out from the channel, come up there. So what happens is that ball's exited for Richmond, exited deep 50. And once it gets intercepted, they are they are slow to locate and lock down their opponents.
You're completely vulnerable in that situation. The opposition have players out everywhere, and that's exactly how it worked out for the Adelaide Crows. Great intercept by Curtin.
Well, they're a team that has the best percentage in the competition. Now they're sitting at around about 140%. And this will take them into third clearly. Pinballing along the ground. Ross, Banks, just a little fumble. Tried to get it to Hopper and then it was stolen by Soligo. Kick inside 50. Over club for Walker. Blight's got a bit of work to do. Off the deck once, off the deck twice, and I don't think he'll get away with that one. Free kick.
The Adelaide Crows have made their sub. Josh Rochelle is off. Managed Lockie Murphy has come on.
He doesn't look happy, Josh Rochelle.
So Sonzi or Banks. In fact, it was Brown who had a touch of the fumbles.
This is inviting pressure, this.
Hopper, Prestia, grab standing tackle, ball it up.
So if you're one of those types of forwards that is an opportunistic type player like Josh Rochelle, you smell a soft kill in these games and you can plump your numbers up. He's not happy about being on the bench.
Neil Bullen got it inside 50. Miller picks it off. Hand pass stolen. Rankin shakes the tackle. Still got to get rid of Miller. Great follow-up. Ben Miller never gave up on it.
Stand.
Two really good attitudes there. Miller didn't give up, as you said, and Rankin just said, "No, I'm going to have a crack at this." He tried to shake and bake him a second time. Loved that from both boys.
Brought off the back flank. In from the side comes Worrell. Hands on it again. Pack collapsed in front of him. Mansell dispossessed. Worrell intercepts.
Richmond.
Free kick's coming back.
He's going to get a one-on-one if they go down the line here to Tom Lynch. Oh no, Keane comes over, so he'll double team him. He doesn't have an opponent here, Keane, so it's going to be a 2-on-1.
Mansell with the contest kick down to half forward. 4 flies in the air. Tigers work it out. McIntosh. High bomb inside 50. Coming, favoured by the kid. Ralph Smith brings it to ground. Stoppage. Can that be seen as a good thing to Rochelle response that he's unhappy to be out of the game?
You totally understand that players want to play. You never like being the opportunity taken away from you. Have a look at the foul.
Coming, kick back into the middle of the ground. Fist from Rankin. Miller on hands and knees up to Ralph Smith. Great catch. Taken by Fogarty right on the logo.
Strong and purposeful enough, but yet not so emphatic that it's a free kick. Well played by Fogarty there.
Bolter down to Prestia. Wobbly one inside 50. Smith with the little tap down. Miller, Keane. Leaves D50. Soligo.
To Miller up and now to Smith. Measures the kick. Dawson's there, as is Berry. Berry takes it, looks inboard. Keys. Gee, they're open on the southern side. The kick heads in that direction. Just got it to Murphy. He's getting a free.
Stand.
The Tigers able to get numbers back after that free kick.
Big O'Brien's in the goal square with not much opposition.
Kick heads to him. Riley leaps up for it. Ralph Smith punches it away. Rankin.
That is so well done by Hugo Ralph Smith then. To sense the danger, he drifted forward, big Riley O'Brien. Noah Bolt is caught elsewhere on the ground. He's got his hand up for this one. There's Josh Rochelle. He would have sniffed another 2 or 3, I reckon.
Probably would have got them too.
Ross and Press during concert together off half-back. Kick down the line. Back with the flight. Putts.
Well, that's not going to help my mood any.
Led to Miller. Then Corridor this time. Berry. Worrell. Long penetrating ball. No mark by Kalani. Pinched it away from Broad and then got it to Fogarty. This time round the corner, kicked it too fat. And did he score? He did. We're behind. So it's out now to 58 points.
Eight shots at goal, 3 goals, 5.
1-2 for Fogarty.
Sam Banks has got one of Richmond's 3 goals. Heads up to the wing. Bolter. Bit of hang time. A nice mark on the wing in the one-on-one. Sends it down the line. Lynch picks it up. Got a handle. Gets the Bronxies. Gives it to Mansell, who finds Campbell, and he takes the mark in the forward pocket. He's been a central figure, Tom Lynch, today. The fans are awake to that.
He's a little bit sore here. Some of these little sneaky goals sneak forwards, though, Bradley. They do feign a bit of an injury so they don't pass it off. He might have done that, Seth Campbell. The tricks of the trade.
Seth Campbell, right foot against the fence from the Don Sheed pocket.
That's why.
He's super. Extends his tally and the top of the goal kicking tree for the Ticks. He's up to 21. Just defend the brethren, Jono.
He well and truly deserves to be in the small forward club after that. Durham describing it as faking so he stays down.
But did you see him run and celebrate after it? Where did that little...
He took a massive divot out of the ground, so he's hurt himself. Here's the... that's Lynch's
stick at it.
First disposal for the game. Good lead, good hit up. Finally inside forward 50. Hits the knee in the deck, gets stuck. It's a great finish. Here from Campbell.
It is a beautiful strike.
He's shown some beautiful skill and talent throughout the season so far.
And stayed down long enough. That's the tricks of the trade.
Honestly say that.
That's what the small forwards do.
Never my mind once to stay there.
You were a Jedi at it.
Well, as Corbin mentioned, leading goal kicker for the Tigers, Seth Campbell this year with 21 goals. Hop around the corner, only to hinge and then kick too hot for Berry. Mopped up by Miller, back to Berry. Transferring play to the members' side over the head of Neil Bullen. Broad, good little battle here. Neil Bullen to himself. Broad doesn't want to touch him. McIntosh comes through and out.
Yeah, Noah Bolt has gone forward. I like that. You can try and... You've got to try and occupy those key backmen of the Adelaide Crows. Otherwise, they're just going to keep peeling off and going to Tom Lynch.
And Curvis working his way to the front. O'Brien won it down. McIntosh arches the back, runs for it hard. Flick back inboard. Taranto. Ground ball. Head going in hard. Berry over the top. It's going to be a free kick to Mansell.
Yeah, just had to exercise a bit of caution there, Berry. So this is where Bolter going forward now is just going to give Lynch a little bit of a split. 2 targets up there, viable targets.
Recorded for an incident in the second quarter, just before half-time, Tom Lynch. You don't see too often these days. Disposalist to half-time. He's got the one hand pass so far, leading an inexperienced forward line for the Tigers.
Worked hard to get that, Banks. You can go backwards again if he wants. Comes in ball.
Lynch is in this pack. Leaps for it. Attracted plenty of others. Smith to Cumming. And now to Fogarty in the one-on-one. Miller spoils Fogarty. Got it back to Peatley. Up to half forward. Awkward half volley for Walker. Couldn't trap it. And out on the full.
I don't know why the kick came forward with a tumble punt. There was enough time to size up the drop punt.
So Banks receiving it from Taranto.
He's out, Seth Campbell.
It's a little aggressive kick to Campbell. So the Tigers trying to build something. Oh, there was always going to be a collision there. That was happening in slow motion. The ball hung for a while, both players up.
Well done, Dan Curtin. He's getting high fives from his teammates in play because of how good they are.
Yes, he did too. So watch this, back with the flight. We mentioned that one before, Ben Miller in the first quarter. That's the opposite of it, isn't it? That's all in, all chips in.
So very short to Peatling. So they just probe it around. Kick inside 50. Fogarty's in the front spot. Broad with the ball. O'Brien just throws his boot at it, and it wobbles and goes through for a behind.
So let's have a look at this back with the flight. He looked first, so he knew someone was coming at him. Well played, young man.
Stay there, Tick. One.
Banks. Contest kick up to the wing. Curtin knocks it forward. Hopper dances through them. Missed the skipper on the hand pass. Nankervis to Campbell. Back to Nankervis. Back to Campbell. Keeps on running. Good ball movement to Lynch. Hugs it to his chest for the first time today.
All right. There'll be a bit of action after this. If he can get this.
Do you think? Oh, no, I don't think he will.
And I'm just tipping our cameraman to get on high alert. Just really zoom in if he kicks this. He will run to somebody and let them know all about it.
They deserve it. Great build-up.
Yeah, it was good ball movement, wasn't it?
And then on the struggle bus, the Richmond forward line, starved of opportunities. Lynch, their leader. Toe meets leather for the first time today, and it results in a goal.
Good man. Tough day. Hard work. He got a bit ratty, turned into a rascal for a period of time, but he's a proud man. He's been a champion footballer. Lowered his colours, tag teamed him, but he's always going to front it. This is when that Curves did so well and keeps his feet. Gets it back here. Seth cuts inside and honours the lead.
We were talking the off-season about whether another club could do with him, and he came up pretty emphatically and said, nope, I came to Richmond when they were good. I enjoyed plenty of success, won a couple of flags. Now I'm here to help the next generation, and what a warrior he's been.
Absolutely. That ball was travelled the length of the ground. Their last two goals have come from kicking, so they've been able to pierce through this Crows zone to get it forward, shot at the goals.
47 points it is as O'Brien. Reed ball, bouncing ball in space. Looking for something absolutely miraculous. It's hit the point post. And it's going to be a throw in. With Murphy on the ground now. The sub lays away there. So O'Brien pats it down. Here's Rankin. Rankin, has he kept it in? No, couldn't quite fake it enough. Umpire right there, Dermy.
This is so well done by the Tigers. Adelaide, yeah, class them up. We know they're a good team.
Rankin.
I thought they were going to blow them away here, but they've hung in. They've kicked 3 goals to 3 goals. 6 Adelaide probably could have made it a bigger mess of it if they had a kick straight this quarter.
Keys gets handed it, pulls the kick back to a dangerous spot. Blight knocks it away, still dangerous. Neil Bullen to Dawson. Now to Laird, hand pass finds Curtin, gives it back to Dawson. Kick touched on the way through. They're queuing up for the Crows. Neil Bullen, hand pass to Curtin off his preferred left peg. This man is playing the footy of his young life. Curtin's got a couple. Crows are humming at the G. 53 points is their advantage. 12-13-85 to Richmond. 5-2-32. They've extended the lead at every break. And Adelaide hunting their place back in the top four. Final quarter on tap next.
All right, there we go. Three-quarter time, folks, here at the MCG. It's Adelaide doing as they like. 12 goals, 13.85, leading the Tigers 5-2-32. 53 point is the margin here at three-quarter time. Adelaide Crows putting on 4 goals, 6 in that third term. The Tigers 3 straight goals. Good to see the Tigers, well, put a couple of scores on the board. And, of course, it only took until the 24-minute mark of the third term before Tom Lynch finally got his first possession. And he actually kicked a goal in the third term. So there you go. Look, it's all right, folks. We knew this was going to happen today. We knew Adelaide was going to be way too strong. But Richmond still, they out there, they're playing, they're giving it their best shot. They haven't given up. That's the one good thing about this Tiger side. They don't give up. They keep playing. It's just that Adelaide are a more seasoned, skillful, composed side when they got the ball. They just know what to do. Michael Laney, he tops the table with 3 goals there for the Crows. Riley Thilthorpe, Josh Rochelle, both with 2 with Daniel Curtin. Josh Rochelle, of course, being subbed out. Didn't look happy about being subbed out. I thought he was thinking to himself, you know what, I think I still had another 2 or 3 goals in me in the third and fourth term, but, well, maybe they're just managing him a little bit, keeping him safe, but he has been subbed off for the Adelaide Crows. Taylor, the Tex, finally got a goal. Well done, Tex, although Thilthorpe kicked it to him when Thilthorpe could have had a shot and snapped for goal, gave it to the big Tex. It was nice and kind. Isaac Ranke with 1, Darcy Fogarty with 1 also. Fogarty's been a little bit quiet after the opening term with his 8 touches, 1 goal, 2. For the Tigers, Luke Traynor with 1, Ralph Smith, Tom Lynch, Seth Campbell, Sam Banks. They are goal scorers there for the Tigers. Why are Richmond still in the AFL? Well, every team goes through a rebuilding process, Land Cruiser. Tell you what, you know what? You might say that, but I actually do prefer the Tigers' future over Carlton's future at the moment. Carlton have got a few reasonably good players, but they're just not interested in playing at all. Whereas, you know, some of the Carlton players, they just don't chase. Richmond, they chase, and, you know, they're still out there giving it a good hard crack, you know, at this game. So I think Richmond in next season, they'll start to continue to keep on growing, and I think this following season, I think they'll just keep climbing the ladder over the next few seasons. Richmond, there we go. All right, disposal count. Rory Laird tops the table with 22 with Jacob Hopper, 1 each from either side, both with 22. Worrell, 21 with Miller and Dawson and Berry. There we go. Jack Ross, Sam Banks, the next best for the Tigers. We'll just quickly roll on down. So we're going to head back down to the ground for the final term. Taylor Walker, as I said, 12 disposals, 9 kicks, 1 goal, 2. Well done to him. Toby Nankervis, the big man, still trying out there with his 12 touches, 25 hitouts, 2 clearances. And they did throw Noah Bolter down forward, they were saying, so that is really good. Left Lynch 1-on-1 instead of 1-on-3. And, of course, we go down here. AFL fantasy points, Tom Lynch was on -15 at one stage. Now he's at -1. He's finally had 2 possessions, 1 kick, 1 handball, 1 mark, 1 goal. Well done. Well done. Hey, don't forget, straight after this game, folks, we'll be heading over to Optus Stadium there in Perth, where the Dockers and St Kilda is underway. 9 minutes into the opening term, and it's the Dockers 1 straight goal, 6, leading St Kilda 3 behinds, 3. So it's the Dockers by 3 points. So straight after this game, we'll head on over to that game there. All right, let's head back down. Andrew, how you going? That's right. You got to love Josh's performance. It's good stuff. All right, let's head back down to the ground. That'll take us in to the bounce of the ball for the final quarter. Hey, Andrew, just for you, let's just check out the live ladder as it speaks right now. Of course, Fremantle's 3 points ahead, so the live ladder's put them winning that game. So let's just have a look at Adelaide. Adelaide will jump. We turn that off. Adelaide there was sitting 5th, 36. Adelaide will jump up into 3rd position. Tell you what, I do like their percentage. Their percentage is building. Got the best percentage in the competition at the moment. That could be pretty important come the end of the season. Here we go. All right, let's head back. Let's head back down to the ground for the final quarter. Wowee, it's the Crows by 53.
To this particular point, which is just a brilliant game of footy. Josh Worrell playing across the back line is at 101. So they're the two leading the way this afternoon, over 100 with a quarter to go.
Can he win the Rising Star, Dan Curtin?
Well, he's finishing the season strong, so he's a big chance to be well and truly in the conversation.
So currently on the live ladder, Adelaide are 3rd on a percentage of 139.2%. They lead by 53 into the last quarter.
Coming with a rush, Curtin, of course, Will Ashcroft and Archie Roberts. It's going to be a really good crop. Nate Caddy, part of that. Good. Connor O'Sullivan. Class of 2025 for the Rising Star. Prestia out to Ralph Smith, just going to pick it up. Hand pass away to Hopper, to Banks. The Tigs are going the other way. To the city end, right of screen. Prestia.
You mentioned those Rising Star names. That's why the last 8 weeks are so important now. If someone has a big block of games, then they'll certainly jump ahead in the voting.
Prestia down to half forward, floating through Dawson. Picks him off at both ends, goes everywhere.
He's got a beautiful stretch though. He leaps, and he stretches. He's awesome to take the ball.
Crows King, who plays like the Queen on the chess set, just goes everywhere, takes everything all before him. Jordan Dawson, as the ball's knocked out of play, on the boundary throwing.
5 marks and 22 disposals as ex-Michael Lanny jumps off to his position. 3 goals today, including the first goal of the match. Shallow throw in. O'Brien down to Soligo, who was grabbed high by Nan Curvis.
Helio, I get the thought that it could seem shallow, but the ruckmen are starting so far back these days that they're just making the contest.
Well done by Ben Miller. Good pressure.
Ralph Smith up against the boundary. Ugly looking kick.
So have a look. We'll see this one here, but they are starting right back on the Toyota AFL logo. So they're going back towards the centre of the ground to start this. So
that's because of the umpiring, because you can push them under the footy these days. So you don't, if you take a front spot, it's the death seat.
So the umpire is actually putting it to the distance required. It's just they're so far back, they're having to charge towards it.
O'Brien smashes it down to Dawson, had his one arm pin, but he still kicked it inside 50 over the head of Thilthorpe. McIntosh gathers, grabbed by Fogarty and also Murphy. Spat out, and it's going to be a stalemate 35 metres out from goal.
And Curvis and O'Brien. O'Brien wins it down. Floston can't clear. Peatling extracts it. Murphy, look away handball. Trainer left it behind. Taranto, only momentarily. Pack falls around Soligo. How can the Tigers get out of this final quarter, Dan?
Well, you set them a task, win the quarter. Each player will have their own little task that they want to achieve, want to win. As a team, you'd want to win the quarter.
Campbell to Brown to Taranto. Oh, worried about the tacklers too. Got him, holding the ball. Hinge, who had hands on him first, wins it back. To Worrell. Has time to get to his feet. Kicks to the hot spot. Thilthorpe.
Just had enough on it to clear the pack.
Yeah.
So Thilthorpe was the trailer coming in behind on the lead term. And it read it perfectly.
It's such good play because it's easy to be that where he was and seeing that Fogarty's drawn the ball. The ball was directed towards Darcy Fogarty, and it would be so easy to say, oh, I can slacken off here. But to not give up on the ball just in case it's got a little bit too much heat on it. Well played.
More of the same to start the last. Philthorpe's got 3.
You're right, Derm, because if he does pause on it, then he misses that opportunity.
Yeah.
He's third this afternoon, so...
Well, it hits him in the shoelace.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then it's either a stoppage or a turnover.
So he's given the first lead, and then it's Darcy Fogarty's turn, and then it's his turn again.
Yep.
3 leads. He's led twice there. Well, he hasn't led. He's just sort of backed up the second one.
There was good speed on the kick.
Yeah,
as
came
well,
in flat.
and that was really important for that to work out nicely for the Adelaide Crows with what they were trying to do. To chat the goal square with his opponent.
So what they're doing now, they're playing broad on Darcy Fogarty. They're trusting him to be outsized, but just do the job for us. And that allows the Tigers to play Noah Bolter elsewhere and give a secondary target up in the forward half.
Hopper being held by Saligo, gets the free kick, not 15. And Curvis quickly to Banks, blazing through the middle. He loves to do that. But Butts out-pointed Lynch that time, and the crowd, the Adelaide Crows supporters at that end of the ground absolutely adored that. As Worrell sends it long, very long, and out of play.
Nick Boston's asking for deliberate on that
For a 50-metre kick.
Well, one of the things you talked about Daniel Curtin's game today several times, Brad, and how well he's gone. He's covered the most kilometres as well. He's given himself the most chances. Over 12 kilometres run today.
Hopper, some indecision, comes back inboard.
Hi, Richmond!
Heard the call, it's a free kick for Gloucester.
Right, this is where Bolter's got to be smart and separate from Tom Lynch. He cannot take his man.
Low trajectory kick finds Taranto.
So that's really well played through because just out of screen to the right, Bolter and Lynch have attracted 3 opponents. They've got the extra coming down there. So you see the hands up. Bolter's just out of screen on the left. He's dragged a player as well. And so they get more space in short.
Pretty good return so far. 10 goals, 2 from his 12 scoring shots. Taranto starts at left and leaves it there.
Shouldn't have read those stats out. That is goal kicking, Corbin.
Commentator's curse strikes again.
You've done that a few times today. Well read.
Ralph Smith sees an option in Sonzi. Can have a crack from here at 48. And it's going to sit up right on the line. Getting his boot to it was Elga, and Elga's got the goal. That's his first ever. It's his first ever goal, and what a way to do it. Probably not the way he dreamed it would happen. He almost looks a bit shell-shocked as they come over and ruffle their hair, but well done, young man.
Oh, 2 players kicking their first goal in senior footy.
What about the celebration?
Let's have a look here. Oh, did it hit the post?
Well, he has.
Did the ball?
Did it clear?
Not sure the ball did, but he certainly did. Oh!
He's actually done very well not to run it into the post and get a boot to it as well.
He's pushed it through with the base of his foot. He hasn't kicked it. What's it?
Here we go.
Comes up the base.
Oh, the ball hits the post.
Does it? Do you reckon it did?
Yep.
Look at the celebration. He's a heavy metal follower.
4th round selection. The draft number 58
no.
for Richmond. They're
Oh,
reviewing
don't
it.
go.
The boy from Warragul and the opening charges. Don't take it off him now.
He's in trouble. I'm sorry. The young man's in trouble.
People say, that Brad Johnson's a nice bloke. And then you come out and then you say, give us the replay. On the secret microphone, you say, give us the replay. Take it off the kid.
I've got access, have I?
Well, Nixie would just be saying, give him a goal, move it on.
Yeah.
It's taken a while.
It is taking a while.
It's taken too long.
Just assessing whether the ball did hit the post or not.
Hang on, here we go. Can't tell from this angle.
You can.
No, is his hand between? Nice push goal. Is his hand between the ball and the padding?
Score confirmed. You can restart play.
Oh, confirmed.
The goal. It's a goal.
Yeah.
Well done, young man.
Insufficient evidence, Bradley, no matter how hard you tried.
We'll show that later on. Again.
Oh, great tap.
And the award for the most unique first goal in AFL footy goes to Jasper Elgar. He's on the board in very unusual circumstances. Here's Smith to Laird. And pass back to Butts, back to Laird. Sonzi. And back to Ralph Smith. Taranto pokes it inside 50. Good punch away from the back. He's at a gauge, Jordan Butts.
But it's important for Jordan Butts as well. We've got to give him some credit because he's holding his spot as the fullback for Adelaide at the moment. Murray coming back, of course, who plays that role extremely well also. So, it just makes them ask some questions in match committee because he's played unbelievably well today.
O'Brien uncontested out of the ruck. Curtin, who's had a good day, just dribbles it to himself like a basketball. Inside to Peatling. Green got him high on the chase down tackle, and then he's into him.
Yeah, he did like it. I reckon he's believing that James Peatling has sagged into that tackle to draw watch his knees. Yeah, he turns. He does. He lowers his height. And it's still a free kick. You've still got to be better than that with your application of the tackle, but he's created it to start with.
Walker, Berry, eyes them up, slots the goal. So Sam Berry joins the goal-kicking list. We're down 9 of them for the Adelaide Crows today, and it's out to 58 points.
Back into the side today, Peatling. Had 18 disposals, so slotted back in nicely through the midfield. All the recruits actually have had significant impact throughout the entire season for the Adelaide Crows. When you look at what Cummings been able to do, as well as Alex Neil-Bullen. You've liked their work, Doom. You highlighted them in the pre-game, actually, in regards to the benefit of adding those 3 players.
They thicken out that midfield, don't they? At the right age bracket as well.
Spot on.
There's the live ladder, so Adelaide up to 3rd. They woke up this morning out of the top 4, given Hawthorn's win last night.
Strong percentage boost as well today.
Half a game behind the reigning champs who have the week off. After this week, the Pies are done. So apart from that outstanding game between the Suns and Essendon, we're back even. As Presti with the clean break. Smith turns into trouble. Holding the ball.
He put a little blind turn in there first, and that's what the umpire suggests is prior opportunity.
It's a spin and way back.
Lynch and Mansell in the 2-man tackle, and Mansell will get it.
Let's have a look again. Spin.
The spin's the evasion.
That's the description or the summary from the umpire. The spin is the evasion.
Goal for goal in this final term. It's Mansell. It's Ryan Mansell.
Riley Philthorpe just chatting to the physio and the doctor on the bench. He limped off. It looked like a leg complaint. We'll try and get word from the club.
Yeah, I did see that as well, Sarah. So that's the only thing with time left in the game that Adelaide fans will be looking at closely and hoping that everyone gets through now healthy. It's been another strong performance. Still a lot to work on from an Adelaide point of view. They've done some things that have been really nice this afternoon, but they've got to cash in on all these shots that they have been getting in recent weeks and fix that conversion. Shots on goal, they'll see 4th in the competition. So they have proved throughout the season that their conversion has been good. It's just in these recent weeks that it hasn't quite worked out for him, and let's get a little massage on the side of the quad.
So Mansell with the goal for the Tigers, his 5th year as a Tiger in 2025. 52 points the margin. O'Brien out of the congestion. It's touched off the boot, won't be a mark. Fogarty just couldn't quite complete it. Lost and grabbed. And a stalemate.
So Gordon, you asked what does the coach, Adam Uzo, say to his Tigers at three-quarter time? Win the quarter. It's 2 goals won to 2 goals. They're doing that, so they're actually going all right in this final quarter.
Goals are off the ground, grabbed by Miller. Hinge working in the middle of the ground. Rankin with a little fade. A lovely kick to Michael Lanny. Miller, 51 metres out. He wants a piece of the action. Last man standing broad right on the chalk.
If he didn't give that handball, Michael Lanny, he would have been given 50 because Floston ran right over right through the mark.
It's a great look at it, right on the goal line from Broad. Floston drags down Murphy, sliding through fall. Ralph Smith got it out. Sonzi to Lynch. Broken up again by Butts.
Yeah, great performance by Butts. Strong defensive group. You can see how much they're working together. The confidence they've got in each other.
He was out of the team at the start of the year too, Jordan Butts, and forced his way back in. Nick Murray on the injury list at the moment will come back at some stage. 3 to 5 away with the ankle. Taranto trying to find the try line, gets it out.
And that's going to be the challenge, isn't it? Because if his form stacks up, then it's going to be a really tough at selection. If you've got a group that is worked so well together that are not being scored against.
So Murphy has been subbed on. Brian got a hurried kick away. Dawson gets it cleanly, scampers away. Kick inside 50 towards Walker. So the tall timber have done their job inside 50 today.
Timed it well in any other era. Watch the hands of Walker here. That's too much force putting him under the footy. But this era allows that. He's played it perfectly.
So Taylor Walker round about 30 metres out and slots through another one. So he's got 2. Riley Thilthorpe with 3 this afternoon. Darcy Fogarty with 1.
It's a real juxtaposition, isn't it, in this era, to take front position. We're always taught play in front. So Taylor knows where the ball's going, goes to front position, cops the motion going forward. And if the umpires allow it, it's well played by the recipient, Taylor Walker.
As a champion key forward that you are, Derm, were you a proponent of the big 3 that Matthew Nicks is rolling with?
They have to mark it. I mean, even with a small score, they got beaten with a small score last game. Yes, if they mark it.
6 between them today, the 3-headed monster. 3 for Thilthorpe, 2 for Walker, 1 for Fogarty. Being goalless last start in Launceston. 58 points. Murphy to O'Brien, gets it going forward again. Miller knocks it away from Thilthorpe. Brown controls it. Taps the kick out in front of McIntosh. Oh, unkind bounce over his head. Neil Bullen back the other way. Sends it inside 50 over the top. Dawson can't drag it down. Got it to Berry. Hurried kick to the goal square. Curtin's down there again, and in front of him, it's Thilthorpe.
He's a colossus, isn't he?
I thought Curtin was going to just launch for a big attempt at a hanger. He had to jump on it.
He is monstrous, isn't he?
Back with me. Here.
And Ben Miller's a big man. He just overpowered him with size and height and reach.
There's no doubt about it. Riley Thilthorpe, he is a problem. He's got 4. And Adelaide put it beyond 10 goals for the first time today.
So 7 goals between the big 3 today. So that's starting to get back to the numbers that they would like to see. If they can keep striving towards, getting those 10 plus, which they were at the start of the year, then that
He peels off pretty quick here.
So strong, Durham.
Yeah, he peels off pretty quick. It's just the left-hand side of your screen, so he's already on the bike, back towards the goals. He knows that's where it's going, so he's got the drop position there. Swings Ben Miller around. So 4 for the Beast.
So that, guys.
There are the big 3.
There we go.
2-2 for Taylor Walker, 1-2 for Darcy Fogarty. As Hopper goes himself, helped by Nan Curvis. Taranto out to Miller. Miller just ambling along, issues some instructions and kicks it long. It's holds back before acceptances and gives away a free kick in the back.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, man. That was great.
So that's the inconsistency of this hands in the back. Let's have a look here. Watch the hands go into the back. That's actually half dangerous. I know it seems a gentle motion in slow motion, but it's such inconsistency in the interpretation. That's a good kick. Bolter's kick's very good. Flirts with the left goal post.
So you compare that to the way Walker used his hands at the other end, Durham?
Yeah, forearm, but it shouldn't just be based on whether it's hands or forearms. It's how much you propel your opponent forward.
Led to Walker. Gives it a thump down the line. Dawson.
Thank you.
Backpack on him and gets a free kick.
He's got space again, Thilthorpe.
Adelaide's leading possession getter again with 26. Thilthorpe. He's getting a free. And he's hunting a handful.
I just reckon Darcy Fogarty in front there. He could have stepped back into the trajectory of that ball, but he decided not to. So there he is. Watch his eyes go over. No, I'm not going to that.
So the free kick was there with both arms around.
So tug his best.
Riley Thilthorpe.
Pretty good, close. Good strike, not there.
A little narrow.
So 8th in the Coleman at the moment, Riley Thilthorpe, with his 32 goals for the year. Blight, Bolter. Bolter's kick works its way in towards the centre of the ground. Hitting it hard. Smith out to Curtin. Little fake, and then Miller up. Back to Keane. We work inside the final 8 minutes of this. Hinge. Walker leads up. So that's an aggressive kick. Looking for Walker. Just over-clubbed it a little, and it fell back to Prestia. Banks leading broad. And further afield, Trainer. His first goal earlier in the match. One of the highlights for Richmond. Kick right down the spine. Keane Marker was touched off the boot. Smith back to Miller. They work their way outside D50 again. The Crows. Now that's gone out of play.
Throw in, skill error.
And it's going to be a throw-in. As you heard the umpire say, a skill error. Wasn't that much of an error either.
I think it was more pressure on the kick, the ump should say. Because there was, and that's what caused that one to just go beyond the stretching arms of his teammate.
O'Brien.
He's back-heeled out there.
Hopper trying to play a bit of tunnel ball.
Hopper.
And Elgar taking the ground.
They've been all right at stoppage today, the Tigers. Yeah, as you called it before the game, Bradley. They've got to work on their game. They've got some issues when the ball gets to the outside and retention of the footy.
Hopper to McIntosh. To Prestia. Gives it back to Hopper. Inside the arc, good kick to Elgar. He's already got his first AFL goal. It came in bizarre fashion a little earlier in this quarter where he fended off the goalpost, got it through on the line off the studs.
And Sarah Jones
Big Tom Lynch looks like he just might have had about enough for today.
Standing on the boundary, watching on with his arms crossed, Derm.
Yes. He's thinking, will I get warmed up again, or should that do me?
For a more conventional goal, Jasper Elga, drop punt, brings it back, kicks good. He's got a couple in the final term, and the algorithm is right.
Very good, Corbin. So, there's no question about that one whatsoever. That was a beautiful set shot. And he worked back into the space nicely off all this. He's been able to get some space because of Adelaide just looking up and being assertive, pushing forward. Could win the contest. So he finds himself all alone inside forward 50. And a nice hit up by Hopper, who used the ball going inside.
Tom Lynch is back on, Derm.
Oh, he might think, I better pack a few weeks' play into this last couple.
So it's still alive for him, Derm. You said Richmond must win the last quarter. 3-2 to 4-1.
Yeah.
That's worth watching in the final 6 minutes of play here on Fox. 58 points the margin overall. Back in the middle, comes out to Curtin. Evades a couple. And then gliding through the middle of the MCG with a long ball to Philthorpe. He's not done yet, the big man.
One thing he does do, and you can see it on that occasion, the three players around him, one teammate, two opponents, were all scrambling for where they thought the true drop of the ball was going. He identified it early. He basically stood still underneath the drop of the ball. Not only is he huge, he just picks up the drop where it's going really early.
So comes in, pretty uncomplicated from 20 metres out. It's another, it's 5. One of the stories of the day, Riley Philthorpe. We've had the 2 first goals from Jasper Elga and also Luke Trainer on the other side of things for Richmond. A report of Tom Lynch in front of a crowd today of 23,231.
So he did well here, Curtin. He just decided, no, I'm going myself. Slam bounce. And watch it. If we do get a peek at it. Right, see, his eyes never leave the tracking of the ball. He identifies really early, and he has got the power to throw another 100 kilo position player from right to left. Yeah, it's a weapon.
4th time he's got a bag of 5. Riley Philthorpe. And Curvis out of the middle to fall. Slips through his hands. Smith to Murphy. Sweeping Polyfarmer hand pass finds Peatling. Goes wide to Curtin. Had a career day, he's had a career month, stringing his career best performances together week after week. Curtin up to 23 and a couple of goals. This is Saligo. With a 6-year deal that takes him through to 2029. That's Curtin again. He was involved earlier in the chain. He keeps on moving. Side tension, big size. Gets around the man on the mark. Back onto his preferred left peg. Kicks into the pocket and knocks it away.
See, that kick that came forward and found Curtin, that's by the kicker. It's really good ID. You see a bloke there who's 197 centimetres against a bloke who's 181. So you just throw it up in his direction, make sure it turns into a physical contest of outreach. This is going to be shallow throw. Well, they're back a fair bit again, aren't they?
Saligo with the fend off to Murphy. Murphy got to the left, snaps. Brown with the fist, with a bit of interest, a bit of frustration and out of play. Who would you give the 3-2-1 to, boys? If
Curtin's got my 3 today. I think Philthorpe is in the votes as well.
O'Brien goes himself, centres it looking for Dawson, who feels like it's a wasted opportunity, and over for a throw-in.
One could be spread between a few players. Mike Lenny with his roll, 3 goals. It's been excellent.
Gee, runs hard, even as a forward, Michael Lenny. Of course, you would never think of giving it to a forward, would you, Bradley?
Banks out of the defensive arc. Unkind bounce for Green. Neil Bullen reads it, downs it back inside. Sonzi. Oh, picks it up, turns it over. Philthorpe. Back to the teeth, the goal O'Brien. The big man skids in and completes the mark.
Darcy Fogarty's had a word to Big Nank here, and Nank doesn't like it. Umpire, walk away. So let's have a look what happens here on the little twist kick around the corner. And a little bit of Captain Risky stuff there, wasn't it? Just the kind of clumsy, accidentally clumsy, need you in the back of the buttock and then floor under the right earlobe. Sorry about that. He's that type of player.
Riley O'Brien joins the chat. He's goal kicker number 9 for the Crows. Boy, they've worked up a score today. It is a 70-point spread.
That's good as well, isn't it? When you start to have 9, 10 goal kickers in a game as well.
Yeah, Sonsi, that was a bit hot for him. He just thought somebody else's problem there. Some players, as he gets older, like some champion players, they will say, it's my responsibility. If I get caught with it, I'll take the punishment. That's my role. So Boston would do that. Broad would do that.
A neat 70 points.
Holding, Richmond. Advantage
paid. Taranto scampers away. Top of the square. Lynch fisted away from him. Butts good work again. A little bit of lip here. They're not going to let the big man forget his actions earlier on in the match. So as I mentioned, 23,000 or just over 23,000 here today. Brian knows himself.
No, Clint Eastwood rule, Riley. He's got to know his limitations. He was going to try and beat him with pace there, Bradley.
He could have felt quick coming out that side. Look, and
I'm going well here.
His exit was closed. Had to turn back.
Oh, it's lovely to see, though. Good on him. Take a risk.
So Dion Prestia, one of 3 Tigers on the list, who's played over 200 games, spreads that to the left.
You can't grab the post and shake it.
Interesting instruction to one of the players. You can't grab the post and shake it.
No, there was a time when that was a reportable offence.
Did you ever try it, Dermy?
No, I was normally kicking him.
Floston across the ground. Prestia. So 122 points scored today by Adelaide. That kick's a little wild.
Yeah, tired kick.
And that's the 6th largest score that the Crows have put up here at the home of footy since their last flag in '98.
It's a big score.
So you can see a venue which hasn't been a happy humpy ground in recent times. Just 1 win in their last 13. This will be 2 in the last 3, though, given their victory over the Bombers earlier this year, and they ran Collingwood pretty close, as they have done in recent seasons. O'Brien.
Yeah, good hit.
Straight down to Ross. He's tackled, and the ump calls for it again. So a quick little look ahead for the Crows. It's Melbourne next week. Sunday footy. They've lost 4 in a row against the Demons too, so chance to try and tick another box in their charge back to September.
Update with the Dogs as well in a couple of weeks' time, and then Gold Coast after that. Miller are grabbed. Curtin helps out. Peatling's kick smothered and out. Jack Ross with 23 disposals today for Richmond. So the latter stages of this one. Lynch did the ruck work that time. Murphy trying to kick it to himself. Ralph Smith working hard as always. Prestia's hurried snap to the goal mouth. It's front on contact. Front on contact and free kick to Smith.
Long to the wing. Saligo with the climb. Michael over the top.
Michael spoiled him. He was a chance to take that.
Back around the mark.
It was a nice ride and sit.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thanks. Into the pocket for Bolter. Rips it down.
See, this is, you're seeing now, I know the game that he's gone out of the game and lost, but Noah Bolter being that secondary target up there, he'll at least draw the footy. And on reflection, they would have, Richmond will say, we should have trusted ourselves to play Broad on someone. Well, they probably needed Broad's pace on someone, but play Vlosten on one of the big key forwards and let him fight the fight.
Tight angle, Bolter.
Oh, he hit both. That's very, that was brilliant.
Do you get 2 points for that?
Should.
Try and do that again. 68 points, Adelaide's lead.
I don't think I've ever seen that. So, we've had some interesting moments, particularly some of the goal kicking today, as the clock ticks down. Hinge with the football, and that'll be it. So, third on the ladder, the Adelaide Crows. They consolidate their position towards the top of the pops with a big win at the home of football, the MCG. It's a big win over Richmond. They win by 68 points. Johnson, Dermot Brereton, they find themselves in a very good position as they head against Melbourne next week, and then the Bulldogs, Gold Coast and Port Adelaide after that. Sarah Jones, down to you.
Max, coming into this game, you played 3% of your time as a forward, 3 goals today. Are you a forward now?
I don't know about that. It was a good change up for once. I haven't played forward since I was about 14, so no, I was grateful for the opportunity, and hopefully again next week.
Talk to us about the coach's planning and what went into that decision.
Yeah, obviously Boston's a really dangerous player, and I think he played really well tonight, but yeah, my move was just go back and play on him and try and nullify his impact.
You haven't quite cut into the big 3 who kicked the 8 goals today. How good was it to have the big forwards focusing?
Yeah, that's superstars at the moment, and they work really well together, and they're really good for me. They instructed me what to do, so yeah, love playing with those boys, and they did really well.
And a brilliant game from you. How much of a relief was it to get that contract out of the way, have your future secured, and you came out and had a breakout game?
Yeah, it was really nice. I mean, I love the club and love the boys, so it was a really easy decision in the end, and yeah, it was good to get the win today.
You've got some great young players to play alongside. Do you feel like this group can go somewhere together?
Oh, 100%, and that's, yeah, why I was so happy to do it, and yeah, I mean, it's really good. They all get around me and I get around them, so yeah, it's nice. Coming
into the club as a high draft pick, that obviously comes with a lot of pressure, but you played every game this year. Do you feel like you found your feet?
Yeah, for sure, and I mean, yeah, grateful for the coaches backing me in and yeah, letting me get to work.
Boys, what about being here at the MCG? We know you get to play here a little bit, but your record hasn't been so great lately. Was it a bit of a focus coming in?
Yeah, we haven't met Richmond for a long time now, so it's always a privilege to play at the MCG, and I was pretty glad to get the job done tonight.
Reckon you'll be back here in September?
Oh, I mean, hopefully we'll just keep taking it week by week and focus.
Oh, don't give me that. Come on, you're better than that.
No, we're just focused on next week, so.
Next week is Melbourne and a chance to get back to Adelaide Oval. You do have a good run of games at home to prepare heading into the finals. Do you feel now it's just heads down and focus as you go all the way through to hopefully another September campaign?
Yeah, 100%. We'll keep our heads down, keep going to work.
Well done. Thank you very much, boys. Well done.
Thanks for having us.
Nothing gets past our Jonesy. None of these cliched answers. None of these straight batters.
Throws it out perfectly. Nice smile and then back, trying to get something out of the boys. I'm sure she'll get it out of her next guest as well when she talks to the skipper very, very shortly. Jordan Dawson, outstanding again today. He's going to look at the ladder. 40 points now, third position, 139.8.
And as you previewed, Buddy Johnson, Jordan Dawson now with Sarah Jones.
Yeah, I've got the skipper with me. How proud are you of the boys today? This was a big game for the club, just given what's on offer with the top four, and you came in a really professional outfit.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the boys then, puts a smile on my face. I think getting a bit older, I feel young. Obviously, I'm not that old, but 28, but I'm about the $6 at the club. So to see those boys and the way that Dan Curtin and Maxie, obviously, the way they've progressed their game and their ability to just play any role, it's makes me so proud as a captain. And obviously the Tigers, they're playing some good footy and the competition's so tight, so we knew at their best we needed to be really wary of it, and it's nice to get back over here to Melbourne and get a good win on the G again, which you haven't had since round 2. So
the group's profile looks really good, so attacking wise another big score, and defensive as well. I mean, Jordan Butt's role on Big Tom Lynch, a bit feisty at times, but he set himself for a really big job, and he gets a big tick. Yeah,
he does that every week. I think him and Mark Keane have been awesome, and Josh Worrell down there. I mean, all the backs have been unbelievable, to be honest. I think depending on the strengths of the key forward is whether Butsy or Keeney take him, and we know what Butsy brings, his closing speed, his ability to just win or half contests, and obviously Tom's a fantastic player and has been for many years, so we knew that he was a key player for them that we needed to take out of the game, and Butsy did that.
Talk to us about the bye and the opportunity that gives you both to have a break mentally and physically, but then to reset and go again. How do you approach this back half of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives you the itch back to play. I think you watch a lot of footy over the bye, and for me, obviously coming from Adelaide, it's pretty media. The media is pretty frenzy over there. So for me to just switch off mentally and relax for a couple of days and then get back into training, and then by the time you have the week off, you're ready to get back into footy. So it feels like it's been a long time, but we definitely did miss a beat today, which is really nice.
Well, we better make sure you don't miss the team song. The boys are waiting for you. We'll let you get in there. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
All right, folks, there we go. While we wait for the team song, it was Adelaide 2. Classy today, 18-14, 122. The Tigers 8-6, 54. Big winners, 68-point winners to Adelaide. We'll see them go third on the ladder. Before we wrap this game up, because we're going to head over to the Fremantle St Kilda game. Of course, that's been played at the moment. Fremantle 28, St Kilda 24. So that's a ring-a-ding-ding close game there. Looking at the goal scorers, Riley Thilthorpe topped the table with 5. Well done, Riley. Mike Laney with 3. Taylor Walker, Josh Rochelle, Daniel Curtinall with 2 for the Crows. Isaac Ranky, O'Brien, Fogarty, Berry, singles for the Crows, and for the Tigers, Jasper Alga with his first 2 goals in AFL. Well done to him. Luke Trainer with a single, Ralph Smith, Mansell, Tom Lynch, and Seth Campbell with Sam Banks. Well done, they all got a goal. Top disposal getters on the ground, 29 Dion Prestia for the Tigers, Jacob Hopper 28, Wayne Miller topped the table for the Crows 27, Rory Laird 26 with Jordan Dawson, Daniel Curtin. There we go. I will just roll through these quickly. If you want to pause, you can have a little bit of a look, because we want to get to the theme song, which is going to happen in just a moment. Dial in. How you going? Cats are better. Elsa, shouty. How you doing, everyone who came in? Hey, thanks everyone who came into the chat. We did have the poll, and it was 60. Just a minute. We're going to head down to the theme song. All right, there it is, the boys singing the song in the rooms after the game. All happy fellas down there, of course, going into third on the ladder. They're going to be extremely happy. There are your player stats. Team stats, I'll just roll down these quickly. Plus 90, plus 89 it was to the Crows, inside 50s. 40 inside 50s for the Tigers, 59 for the Crows. So the Tigers had plenty of it. The defence was just too strong from Adelaide. Of course, 20 free kicks apiece, all tied up there. The hit-out section and stoppages, it was plus 13 to Adelaide. The clearances, the Tigers won the clearances plus 7, so they'll be happy with that. And centre clearances plus 5, plus 2 in the stoppage clearances. So the Tigers did pretty well in the clearances today, winning all 3 sections. Contested possessions, Adelaide were there. Well done, 38. Of course, uncontested. Tigers got smashed in that department. 75 plus to Adelaide. Turnovers pretty high from the Tigers at 70. Good to see Adelaide, as I said, a little bit more skillful, composed team. Just a 52, well under their season average. That was all right. With that control of the ball, Adelaide certainly controlled the marks as well. Plus 59. Marks inside 50. Well, Tigers finally got a few, but it was 7-17. Adelaide finding that space. Their mids directing the ball down nicely. Adelaide finding the space with their forwards. All working well together. Contested marks, Adelaide too strong in the air. 12-3. And, of course, looking at the tackle count, both teams a little bit low on the tackle count, 51-56. Tigers finally had a few tackles inside 50 on the second half with 5 and 9 to Adelaide. Looking at the ladder, Adelaide now jumps up into third spot with a beautiful percentage of 139.8. Well done to Adelaide. I think they have a bye next week. If I just check that out, I'm just trying to just bring up the fixture. Let me just have a little bit of a look. No, Adelaide actually next week. Adelaide play Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. So you got a game at home next Sunday against Melbourne. So that should be, well, you'd expect Melbourne, well, not to get the chocolates in that game. You would expect Adelaide to have a nice victory there. And, of course, for the Tigers, it doesn't get any easier. Oh, well, they've got to go down to the Cattery GMHBA Stadium next week and take on the might of the Geelong Cats. So it looks like it's going to be a tough one for Richmond next week, but a good learning curve all the same. Wow, Western Bulldogs all the way. Orlando, how you going? You know what, Craigie? I'm a Collingwood supporter, and I think the Pies will actually play the Western Bulldogs off in the grand final this year. That's just my predictions. I predicted that a couple of weeks ago when the Dogs were out of the 8. But you just never know. You just never know. Look, we can't read too much into this game today. Adelaide playing a weaker side in the Tigers, and of course Geelong will be playing the Tigers next week. So I tell you what, she's going to be an interesting, last 7 or 8 rounds. So I think we've got about 7 or 8 rounds to go in the home and away season. So it should be really interesting to the run into the finals because we have a little bit of a look. This top 4, the top 4 is certainly up for grabs. Brisbane sitting there on 42. I think top spot, Collingwood, they'll remain on top at the end of the year. But it's the other positions under that's going to be vitally important. These games coming up, and of course with Adelaide playing Melbourne, who should be expected to win. Geelong playing Richmond, expected to win. It just leaves Brisbane, which could be vulnerable next week. And of course, as we see, the Brisbane Lions take on Port Adelaide at the Gabba. So that's not going to be any easy game for Brisbane up there. And then, of course, the Bulldogs, your team, the Bulldogs, was one of the best games of the season. It wasn't too bad, was it? The Bulldogs I tell you what, the Bulldogs, their percentage is really, really healthy. What's that, the 3rd best in the league? So that could hold them in good stead come the end of the home and away season. Only a game behind 3rd on points. There we go, only 1 game off. So that should be really interesting now. I was just trying to see who the Bulldogs... Well, the Bulldogs play North Melbourne next week, Marvel Stadium. You would have to think, after the shellacking North Melbourne copped on the weekend to Hawthorn, you'd have to think the Western Bulldogs will win that. So I tell you what, this race is going to be super, super tight for the top 4 position this year, and it's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding final half of the season. I tell you what, we're looking forward to it. We are certainly looking forward to it. But that is all we've got for this coverage. Hey, thanks everyone for coming on in. We're going to head over to the other game, Fremantle and St Kilda. At the moment, it's Fremantle 4-4-28, trailing St Kilda 4-6-30. 7 minutes to go in the second term. So we're going to close out this coverage, and I'll be live in just a few minutes' time, and we're going to head over to Optus Stadium there in Perth to cover that game. If you're interested in listening to the final game of round 16, Fremantle and St Kilda, that'll be coming up in just a few minutes' time. But thanks everyone for coming in today. Appreciate everyone coming in. Thanks for all the likes. Always appreciate everyone hitting the thumbs up for me. Always good stuff. We know that you enjoy the game and the coverage. My little bit of chit chat in between the breaks, etc., like that. Giving everyone a bit of a shout out. That's what we like to do. Appreciate everyone coming in. But it was big victory here today with the Adelaide Crows, 68-point winners over the Tigers here at the MCG today. Well, the Tigers, you know, they keep on trying, but they're just young, inexperienced team. That look, I think their progression is okay, and I think they're, give them time, Tiger fans. I think you'll see them certainly climb up the ladder coming into the next few seasons. But Adelaide looking really good. This is the best I've seen Adelaide look for some time, being consistent with their form, etc., like that, and on the travel and at home. So Adelaide, they are contenders. They're certainly not pretenders, definitely contenders for this year. It's great to see the Crows doing well. All right, folks. Thanks, everyone, for tuning on in. I'm going to head on out, and we'll see you at the next game, Fremantle and St Kilda, which is happening now. I'll see you over there in just a few minutes. Elsa, Adelaide Crows. I tell you what, we had a few Crows supporters in here today. That's always good to see. And well done to the big victory again here today. Your players were fantastic. I think all the Adelaide players look like they're actually enjoying and having a little bit of fun with their football out there. Hey, Mohan Suja, how you going? Shout out there. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for popping on in. Hey, Mohan, if you want to come on over to the next live, I'll be starting that in round about 3 minutes' time, because I want to get over to the next game and cover that. That game is, there's about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter over there, which looks like a pretty well packed out crowd there. Looks like a good crowd. And of course, today's crowd at the MCG looked like there was about 30,000 there. Plenty of seats on offer if you wanted to head to the footy today. So that would have been good fun. All right, folks. Hey, that's all I got for this one. Thanks all for coming in. Ciao for now. And we'll see you at the next game, Freo St Kilda, in a couple of moments' time.